I think what I got to do is I got to go back to the Facebook here, go to my page, and then hit the public button. That's not it. Here we go, right here. Public, save. And now we're back doing what we do. That should be on mute. Y'all can hear me clear, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yo, yo, yo. And then let me get on here with the phone so I can see the comments. Put it on mute. Tamara, what's going on? What's the word? I'm gonna put it right here so I can see. Now listen, I try to write down a little bit of notes so I could kind of have some type of, you know what I'm saying? Yo, G Rich, what's the word, man? Good to see you, man. G Rich is in the building. In the building. And G Rich, if you want to pull up, let me know. Hit me inbox. Tamara, you too. You want to pull up? Hit me inbox. We can pull up, yeah. We're gonna talk a little bit.
Is that a technical foul time? Is that technical foul time?
What happened?
Is that technical foul time?
Technical from Detroit, right. Technical foul, elbows in the paint, all of that. Yeah, man. Come on through. What's going on, Marquita? Shout out to Marquita, man. Marquita's good people. Always good to work with good people. Kelly, you good?
No doubt, fam. No doubt. Let's
I'm just
go.
making sure. You know, we live. You on the phone.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Kelly, you remember Marquita, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was saying what's up in the on the chat. I don't know if y'all can see your chat or the chat on your phones or whatnot, but
That's what I was trying to do, so I could see what's going on up in there, because you know you can't see it on StreamYard.
yeah. See, I guess only I can see it because I can see the comments right there, but I don't know why they doing it like that, man. But yeah, man. Yo, so I'm gonna turn this music down a little bit in a second. I was trying to let it vibe a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Let it do what it do. It may feel finished though. I'm gonna let them pause. Yeah, man. So yeah, long time, man. Been a minute since how long has it been? It don't feel like, well, I guess this is the first one of 2022, right? What's going on, Key? Yeah, man. I think this is the first one. It's been a minute, if I'm not mistaken.
Hold up. It's been over a year?
It might have been.
It's pretty close to that.
Yeah, it might have been. What's good, Kwanzaa? There go.
Hey, the last time I did this, I had hair. Okay.
No word. Yeah, man. Been a minute, man. Been a strong minute, man. Good things have been happening though. How's your family? How y'all been, man? Like, what's the word? Here go Greg right here. Hill Charlotte's in the building. There he go. You know what I'm saying?
What up?
Ain't nothing
coming with flip charts.
A country minute. Hey, Key, how long has it been, man? How long has it been? I don't know how long it's been. It feels like it's been a while though, but I'll tell you now. The plan is to do one every other Sunday. So every other Sunday, I guess what's that? Twice a month. So twice a month, pull up, and I think it's important to give updates. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest. I'm being a little biased. I definitely want people to see the brothers leading conversations, at the same time giving updates about what they're doing in the community as they're putting in work to encourage other brothers to put in work. Most of the time when I volunteer, when I'm working in the community, all the years I've been doing it on my side, getting the ladies is no problem. The ladies come through. Black women pull up. Easy work. The fellas, though, bigger challenge, bigger task. But hey, Greg, don't Kwanzaa hollering at you in the comments. She needs to connect with you. Don't lose that. That's Kwanzaa right there. She gets mad respect. Shout out to Chucktown, man. Shout out to Chucktown. I know it's two of us on here, gonna be a little biased, but Chucktown's in the building, man. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Stand up. 843.
Let's
26
go.
East.
Let's go. Let's go. No disrespect to 704, right? No disrespect to
got love for the
New
4.
York and
got
Philly.
Love for the 4.
You know, y'all get shout outs all the time.
We just trying to make it balanced. Chucktown, Philly, New York, we all in the building.
Hey, Kelly, I got crazy love for the people of Philadelphia. I went up there. The people of Philly are fire. Y'all heard me say that, right? They are fire, great people.
Mm-hmm.
That being said,
I knew it was coming.
Hey, yo, Philly, man. Black people in Philly, if you're in Philly, come to the South. Come to the South. Come down South. There's no fundamental reason for any black person to remain in the city of Philadelphia. It is undoubtedly, did I say that right? Undoubtedly, rock with me. It's beyond question, it's the dirtiest city in America.
I'm going to disagree
No
with
doubt.
that.
There's no city dirtier than. Come on, Kelly, don't do that. But I want to be positive. I'm gonna get off that. Shout out to Philly. They're good people.
Hey.
But if you come down south, we can take over. That's all I'm saying. Same for New York. New York too packed, man. It's too crowded. Unless you're there for entertainment or something, come on down here, man. Come on down to the South, man. The South is if there's any area where black people can take over, it's the South. We got the numbers. Key said that wasn't her experience in Philly, man. She didn't. I don't think she got along with the peoples, man. I don't know, but
she was just on the wrong side. That's what it was.
Wrong side ain't no right side, Kelly.
No.
It ain't no right side, man.
It's right side, Marie.
Woo! Philly is rough, boy.
It is.
Hey, Chris, I can't give you no streets that were clean, but I'm gonna get off that, man. I'm gonna get off. Philly is what 9-2.
Watch this, Chris. Marifa, did you go to Mount Airy?
Why you going so hard on Philly right now?
Hey, yo, they 10-2, right? Y'all 10-2?
Negative.
Why you bring up the Eagles after you finish saying it's the dirtiest city?
I know, right?
Hey, yo, my fault.
He trying to divert. He said, "Yo, they couldn't do
the Phillies, though. Yeah, I mean, the Phillies.
The
Phillies the World Series. Or y'all lost the World Series. You went to the World Series, something like that. My bad.
Yo, he's drowning over here. Somebody get him out.
Hey, look at the comments though. Tracy said Philly is rough as hell. See,
yo,
I ain't the only one, man. Shout out to Kelly though. Shout out to Kelly. Greg, man. Hey, man. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and check in, man, so we can get right into it. Get into the community updates. Hopefully Jamal will be here too, because he has some fire things going on. And but we'll check in, man. You know what I'm saying? Greg, how you be, man? What's the word?
Well, how I be?
Yeah.
I'll be good, man. I'm out here. I'm out here doing good, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I can't complain. It's been busy, since the last time we kind of got together and did anything. And man, we just making a lot of moves, doing a lot of work in the community. So y'all, as everybody listening, y'all know I run Heal Charlotte. I'm the founder of Heal Charlotte, executive director. We specialize in doing neighborhood development with a holistic approach. That's what we specialize in. Neighborhood development, not just programs, but developing our neighborhood, building culture in our neighborhoods, to have peace, safe, equitable neighborhoods, that have Black leadership that is real, integral leadership. So, man, we've been doing that 85 Sugar Creek. We've housed, I don't know how many families this year. Well, we haven't gotten the numbers back, but we have a program where we're housing families that experiencing homelessness at the Baymont Inn. It's a 90-day program, heavy case management. This year, we hired a social worker. Shout out to that. Got a wonderful team. We just moved in 5 families last week, into the hotel. Shout out to our partnerships. We just made a great partnership with Away Home. So now we have Away Home is a division of Foundation of the Carolinas. Away Home is specialized in providing subsidy money for families that are going into permanent housing. We just got a large amount of subsidy money now for the families that we work with. So when they go into permanent housing, now they have some real financial help as they're getting into the flow of owning their own, as their finances are getting stronger and healthier. We could still give some financial support in those 18 months, the first 18 months of them being in a new place. So that was big, man. That was something big for us. All of our private owners that own property reach out to me, looking for some tenants that have some real good case management and they're going into upward mobility. And you might have some property. Reach out to me. We'll love to have our clients get rented to by y'all. And then what else, man? Shout out to Stonebridge Community Church. You know me, I'm a man of God, so I like to see the church make investments inside of the community and the work that we do inside of the community. I like to see the churches really step up to the plate and say what they have to do and say what needs to be done. Stonebridge Community Church is a white Presbyterian church. I'm just gonna keep it 1,000, right? Yeah. But to be honest, man, they got soft hearts. They're good people. Pastor Brent Jones has become a real good friend of mine over the years, and somebody that, I feel like he went through the ringer and he stood tall like the whole time. And not only has he stood tall, he has kind of been contagious for the congregation that he represents, and they want to get involved. So in November, they made a donation of $150,000 to Hill Charlotte to fund 15 families to get housed for the winter. So we're housing families right now at the hotel because of Stonebridge Church. So shout out to them and for them doing that. Man, Marifa, we did a whole gun violence prevention workshop. Since the last time, we've had this Yip Yap, man. We started to stop the violence movement, due to all of the gun violence that's happening in the city due to one of my mentees being taken by gun violence. And Hill Charlotte hit the ground running with that, partnered with Marifa right here to bring this curriculum to the families of Hill Charlotte and beyond. You know what I'm saying? So we were doing a lot of events, and we didn't have any educational curriculum to really build leadership inside the community for others to really just, if you want to learn and then go out and do your own thing, where's the toolkit for that for our people, especially when we're talking about gun violence. So and shout out to Cinemet who is intertwined in all of that of us building curriculum, and it was dope. We did a 12-week workshop.
12 weeks.
You feel me? And then we had real commitments of the workshop. People came, politicians, everything. And it worked out good, man. Shout out to Walmart for sponsoring. Shout out to Recast. We were able to like Marifa tell the truth, it's good to be able to have a program that can run, but then it's also sponsored. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we had time to really sit down and build a curriculum. And shout out to Walmart for seeing that, because they provided the funds for us to be able to do that. And that was dope, man. But the whole Stop the Violence movement, I'll let you talk about that, but we can keep going. We doing work out here.
It's been a lot. We're gonna get into the details.
Doing work. Look, let me get hype real quick. We're doing work. I know we like to modestly just talk about what we do and do it all humble and everything. Listen here, we out here working. All right. We got an after school program right now. Martin Luther King Middle School. Marifa came through there. Kelly done came through there.
Those kids are sharp.
What you talking about? They sharp.
They sharp. I motivated my whole week talking to those young people, man.
What?
Yo, they doing big things at MLK, Hidden Valley, at that middle school. Them young people are sharp. I'm telling you.
Sharp, man. Shout out to all of the young ones that's a part of the program. They're learning about gun violence prevention. They're learning about principles of Ubuntu. They're learning how to be village minded. They're learning about their passions, their gifts. Shout out to Kelly for coming and starting the community garden with them. And then shout out to my man Samir from Family Matters Printing, man. So what we did was I told the kids, because listen, we all done said the times of telling people to stay out of trouble and not giving them resources are over.
Word.
The time of doing that is over. You know what I'm saying? We can't just sit here and tell people don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And we know all of the components that are involved in them making them those decisions. So plainly to say, we can't tell kids don't be in the street getting money and we ain't helping them get no money. Okay?
Facts.
Straight up. So
Facts.
at our organization, we started a merchandise with the kids. It's going to be getting released on the Hill Charlotte website, hopefully right before Christmas. But it's the kids designed their own logo for Stop the Violence that represents gun violence prevention, that represents peace, unity. I wish I had some pictures that I could show y'all, but my man Samir digitized them and put them on jackets and put them on pants. And now these kids are going to be a part of a selling team, part of a brand ambassador team, and all of the money that we make off of this merchandise goes to their college education. So
let's go.
This is all for them. This is all their money, you know, and that's what we're doing over here. We providing opportunities for people to not only just be better people, but to have some economic mobility for real, you know.
Word. Yeah, man. We hype, man. I'm not gonna hold you. I am containing it a little bit.
Don't contain it, bro. We about to do a workshop for Novant. Let's go, man. What we talking about? We about to do a workshop for Novant Health, man. We about to put them on to this gun violence prevention. Marifa's gonna give it to him. Y'all know how Marifa do. You know he don't hold no punches. And this is Novant. This is the community engagement team about to get this work.
Yeah, we gonna listen.
And they paid us to do it. What we talking about?
I can't wait till we get to that segment of the live broadcast when we're gonna talk about some of this stuff when it comes to money and community work and what your commitments are, what your value system is, which guides what kind of decisions you're gonna make, and how you're gonna engage and all that. We're gonna get to that. That's why I'm holding back a little bit because I don't want to jump ahead.
I got you.
That's the only reason.
The beautiful thing is, even though we ain't been on here doing Yip Yap, all of us been working together, man. We all have ran into each other, worked together, been a part of a project together. So if you ain't seen us on Facebook, that don't mean we ain't working. We out here.
That's facts. That's facts. And let me just let people know. Shout out to everyone who joined and tuned in to the live, man. Shout out to y'all. You don't have to listen to us. What's going on, Miss Jessie? You don't have to listen to us Yip Yap, but we appreciate it. It's been a minute. Keith said we ain't been on here at all 2022. And I think that might be accurate. I don't think we've been on here at all. This is our first time this year. So, man, and it's been a lot of things happening. A lot of things happening. Man, I don't even know where to begin. I ain't gonna bore y'all with all that just yet. I'm gonna let Chris Howard, Chucktown, chime in. You know what I'm saying? Because I know. Listen, I seen a couple of your posts. You out here running marathons and whatnot.
Bro. Come on, Chris.
Man's.
And
you've
before I
always
even
been
get into that,
man.
Yo, shout out to Greg, man. I remember the last time I saw Greg, it was about 15 degrees in uptown Charlotte when we were helping a homegirl out with her
Shout out to
her
Seven.
event.
Shout out to Seven. Seven was throwing the mommy Dad, what's the name?
Mothers Against Murder Youth.
Yep. Yes. And she actually it's coming up again. It's coming up. I think next month.
Word.
Let me get that correct too. I'm gonna look
I
it up.
I hope it's gonna be a little bit warmer.
Yeah, 15 degrees.
Oh, and shout out for brother Kelly. Philly was up there representing. AI was out there. So you know that was a good thing for Philly. Good thing for Philly. I got you. I got your back, bro. But nah, brothers. It's definitely been it's definitely been a good year, man. It's been a great year. Staying active, getting out there, trying to also get more folks to actually be active too, man. Keep on moving. We ain't getting any younger, especially for our community, man. Making sure people of color like ourselves, brothers, get out there, put the chicken down, and pick up some weights,
right?
Pick up some running shoes,
right?
Keep moving. Also with the youth, still working with my youth. Shout out to Marifa, because I believe back in, I want to say April, Marifa came out for a live event for the youth from North Carolina. Had about 150 kids on. This brother went deep, gave a great message, and teaching kids, man, about our history. And so, I mean, I thank you for that, brother. I appreciate you being there. And also in the summer, we had a youth assemblage in Oxford, North Carolina at the Children's Home. So still out here, man, doing work, man, working with the kids.
Yeah.
And great to be back with y'all, brothers, man, to get some more knowledge, to grow a little bit more.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm gonna say it again for the people who might not have heard. We're gonna do this. I'm definitely gonna go live every other Sunday, so twice a month going forward. Just trying to keep people updated. You know what I'm saying, of what's going on, especially from what the brothers are doing. I will say that when the French invaded Algeria, one of the ways Algeria was able to organize, fight back, and push them out of their country was through communication. And it was through radio. Once one group from one side of town figured out that people from the other side of the town were putting in work, stepping up and fighting back, everyone started to do it.
Yeah.
So we just want to get on here and just let you know what we're doing, and then give you opportunity. If you wanted to join us on something, let us know. You know what I'm saying? You can come and join up, and also let us know what you're doing. And if you want to come up on the panel, share what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? What up, Scamp? Scamp in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Scamp, man. Scamp be putting in work on the west side, man. Wallace Pruitt Rec Center. Shout out to Wallace Pruitt. The elder, a staple in the neighborhood. Scamp's been putting in work, man. He recently had a teen summit. Recently was fire, first annual. I believe, Scamp, let me know in the comments. Y'all gonna keep doing it going forward. And matter of fact, a young man pretty much helped put it all together. A teenager himself, man. So it's just yeah, man. It's just young people. And listen, we got to keep pushing with these young people. I'm gonna come back to that later on. I'm not gonna hold it all up and get too excited, Greg. Not just yet. I'm still holding back a little bit.
Yeah, nah, you right though. But listen, I just finished speaking of these young people, man. I just finished having a conversation with a young man who's really like best friends with the 17-year-old that got shot off the bus stop. Man, it just brought a reality to like what these kids is like right now, what these kids is going through right now.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough.
Getting shot off the CMS, like,
that's crazy.
It's a few feet from the CMS bus, running to your crib, straight off out of school. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Kelly, man, what you got, man?
Man, it's kind of hard to follow up after C. Howard and G. Jack, but let me, you know how we do, Marifa. So
facts.
First and foremost, multiple schools in Charlotte.
Word.
I put my organization in. We touch over 110 kids every week. I mean, in numerous schools. From gardening, I wrote a whole curriculum. Marifa seen it. I think Greg seen it. The curriculum ties in emotional intelligence, exposure, leadership. Then we get into simulations, teach economic maturity. So credit, fundraising, all that. And we talking about early as 4th grade. Because if the school or prison pipeline will start in the 3rd grade, we got to make sure we meeting it right where it is. And so this is why I don't use the word program. Because program speaks to what happens to us every day through television, through radio. So we create institutions and universities because that's the only way to rival an institution or university. And then a month, I tap into like your Charlotte Country Dailies where you got kids who are privileged, but they're busing kids from the West Side. So because they don't understand our culture, I make sure I go out there and they respect the diversity, equity, and inclusion that we bring to the table. And so we put things in that tie in identity so that they know who they are, where they coming from, the whole front piece, which is waiting for me to get back on track. So he back, we get ready to let him handle the culture piece, run the other pieces in, but that's just part of the equation. We often look at the whole community service piece because that's a part of our culture, right? We don't do nothing in isolation. And I'm tired of, I dig the trauma-informed piece, but we are focusing on healing-centered. Because until we understand that we take an active part of our own healing, so now they don't know any ideals around what I can't do or a lack of hope, because we building that in the conversation. We start every conversation and engagement with gratitude and affirmations. And we are living, breathing, and speaking what they bring to the table. And that's just one facet of the process. The other facet is I'm touching over 450 men a month too.
Woo.
You know what I mean? We're doing the had 5 conferences, 2 in Cherokee, North Carolina.
That's right.
Up on the eastern side of the state. 2 national, where we are bringing men and having them to do the very thing that women have been doing since the beginning of time, which is tapping into the collective power of our elders, our aunties, but we're tapping into men. And it's time that we stop, you know what I mean, suppressing all our anger, our frustration, and not embracing our emotion. And so teaching them how to leverage those emotions and realizing that we feminine and masculine energy and being able to tap into the giving and receiving principle, helping fathers navigate those complex systems like social services, like child support, and how to get involved in their child's life when the school systems have not been given equitable access. And it's a system issue. It's not an individual issue. So long story short, man, we working and we understand that in order to change our community, we can't start with the current state of who's at the table. We got to plan 3 generations into the future. And so that's a discussion and conversation that we're having, and just actively challenging these men to reciprocate everything that I put into them, that they come out and we do reading with the kids at the school. So that they understand that they value, and so that we bring back community, that we bring back neighborhood,
right,
and that we re-establish our rightful position as kings on thrones. So and then connect them to employment and teach them how to run their own business.
Facts.
So I'll just leave it there.
Leave it there. This man, listen, he one of the busiest men in North Carolina, man. I'm telling you, this man stay busy. Man. This dude here. I don't know how you do it. Hey, Kelly, when the last time you been asleep, man?
Yesterday, bro. Like
5
o'clock.
This dude here, man, non-stop, boy. Non-stop.
Yo, but since you asked that, Marif, I got to make sure they know this, though.
What's up?
The other piece is, you know, I build in meditation, time by the lake.
Yeah.
All the time, because at the end of the day, man, we cannot be going in working for somebody and not taking care of our bodies and what we put in our body.
Facts.
So,
yes, sir.
Work-life balance.
That's a fact.
Work-life balance. Say word. I'm definitely on that wave. Because man, like if we go to early 2022, right around when we were wrapping up, in April, my health said, listen, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was. That's why I had to take the break, man. That the things I was dealing with. I mean, I remember I was doing the sessions with Sign of the Times, and we were doing those weekly for Black History Month. We were doing those classes. At one point, I had slurred speech, like on and off during one of the broadcasts. And when that happened, that's when I knew, yeah, man, we got to take some time off. We're you know, I'm overextended, and yeah, man, and we have to take that break. So yeah, going forward, I'm going to make sure that there's work-life balance. Period. That's the standard. So I kind of broke my life down in like 5 key areas where I'm going to make sure these 5 priorities are taken care of. Recreation is on that list, along with meditation, diet, exercise, you know, stuff like that. The mission, all those things accounted for, but recreation is on there. And I'm going to have a hard cutoff. I already have a hard cutoff pretty much, which is 4 o'clock. And so if you catch me after 4, if it's work related, I'm going to have to hit you the next day. You know what I'm saying? You know, it'll be all right. I'll catch you tomorrow. But
all right. Like for real.
Yeah, man. But it's been
so important, man, because like a lot of us are just like I look around and I scope the area, and it's like some of us are leading in different departments where we're unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? But we got a lot of people like leading in finances and they're not financially healthy. You know, we got a lot of people leading in, oh, you need to work out, you need to do this in recreation, and they're not physically healthy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like for us to be able to lead the community the way that we're leading it as men, we got to be real honest about where we're not healthy at, you know, and definitely you can't be leading a bunch of people about how to have this perseverance and how to break through and break generational chains and you're not physically healthy. You know what I'm saying? You got to, because it's a long fight and you need endurance to be able to do this thing.
Facts. Man, I'm a just for a quick, I'm gonna just say rest in peace, rise in power, rise on the other side to Pastor Ghoul. I actually went to Victory Christian Center for a good period of time before all this knowledge and all that kind of goopy goop came along, but over 10 years. And Pastor Ghoul recently passed. Definitely my condolences to the family, everybody. He was definitely 100% a public servant. You didn't have to agree with his beliefs necessarily, but his commitment to what he believed and how to serve the people, unmatched. And so, you know, R.I.P. to Pastor Ghoul. And yeah, I message received, Greg. You know what I'm saying? Like it. Sometimes you got to learn the hard way, and I definitely learned that lesson. Won't happen again. No,
but it was good you did that, bro, because I was able to watch you do it. You feel me? And it was a wake up call for me. Like, it's okay. Marifa's taking a break. If Marifa's taking a break, it's okay. I can take one too.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I'm gonna shout out Tiffany Fant. I saw Tiffany Fant at whose event was that? Might have been April's event, Uptown Charlotte. And Tiffany told me she took the whole year off. Now I didn't get a chance to do the whole year, but when she told me that, that's when I was like, oh, I know I made the right decision now. If Tiffany Fant taking, you talking about if I'm taking a break, if Tiffany Fant taking a break, then I know. So yeah, and now you were laughing at part of my recreation because you were laughing at what? Why is Marifa at the battle rap event? Why? He ain't on no break.
Hey,
nah, I promise you I was on break.
Hey, yo, I'm watching Smack. Smack is in Charlotte, man. They got a battle rap event in Charlotte. Me and Marifa's in that culture. You know what I'm saying? We like watching the battles and everything. So I'm watching the joint. Boy, I got it on the TV. You know, Marifa's on break. You feel me?
Right.
Looking at the TV. This Negro's on stage behind I said, yo, he's on a super break.
I'm on break. What you mean? Recreation, man.
Joe, that's real because that's what you love, man. And that's what it's about. Like, we ain't talking about take a break and go, you know what I mean, sit somewhere, sit in the house all day. Do what you love doing, man. That's what it's about.
Do what you like.
And I got to toss one thing out there, Greg, because you hear me some stuff home, but some cats think because I lift weights and I run a half a mile, I'm physically good. But like, if you ain't checking yourself, like the inside is more important than the outside. If your test ain't right, your blood ain't right, you ain't drinking water.
Preach.
Yeah.
Preach it, man. Preach it, man. In fact, I'll tell you this, man. All of this right now is really just tripping me out a little bit because when we actually started these sessions, that's when I started on my road to really getting myself right.
Let's work.
Physical mindset and the mental mindset. And I mean, y'all brothers help with that.
Word.
So, and because like with all the running that you see right about now, that's basically for me my meditation. Like Brother Kelly was saying, his meditation. When I'm doing that running, brother, I'm thinking, I'm getting lost in the run. I'm really trying to elevate myself with a lot of the things that I'm doing. And Marifa, I'm telling you, I'm gonna get you out there on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Mad Miles. I'm gonna get you out there, some good people out there, brother. I'm gonna get you out there running while you on your breaks.
Oh no, I'm not on break anymore.
No. You done at 4:30. Don't worry, we don't run until about 6:45. You good?
Okay.
So
but I'm down to run though. I'm down to run. I remember a few years back.
Hey, man, trying to run with 1,000 people in the street, bro. Yeah, I don't know.
Run, walk. Oh, there's about 600 of our people out there on Tuesdays. About 200 at Elizabeth City Park on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Wow. It's a good movement, man. Staying active. I know one of the topics probably coming up later. You talk about HBCUs.
Yeah.
A lot of HBCU community out there, man. A lot of good things. They do a lot of other things with the party and the dancing and stuff. I don't really get into that. I'm just more into the active and to the elevation portion of it. But nah, my brothers, is good. Hey, man, it's important that you got to take care of yourself. Because one thing that I said I was gonna stop doing, I'm not gonna be working 8-10 hours at some other man's company. I'm not even taking an hour to work on my own self. Because that math is already backwards. So I've got like a cutoff time with work. And I'll just tell you this. I mean, I know y'all taking a break. You know, you taking a break and you're really being intentional about your work-life balance. But I tell you like this, man, some of the things that y'all brothers been putting in the communities, I just know the energy that y'all have been putting out there is just dump. Like, listen to Brother Kelly almost made me tired right by now. Like, come to my bedtime and yo, when that brother said that, yo, man, I haven't slept since yesterday, I was like, God darn. Greg,
I don't recommend that
at all. Well,
I don't recommend that. I'm going to sleep. Them days over for me. I'm not doing that no more.
But yo,
I'm going to sleep.
But good recreation cycling, absolutely.
Yeah,
but,
man.
Hey, I'll just tell you, man. To everybody in the voice, man, find something. 2023, I'm gonna hit this pickleball, and I'm about to take over this game. Me and Kevin Durant. Pickleball's about to be a new thing for me. Pickleball and running.
Pickleball and running. Listen, I'm going to take this time to shout out our unofficial Yip Yap Session sponsor, Sacred Roots. Shout out to Brother Ket Waz. Listen, this brother with the serums and the herbs and everything to keep a brother on point. Yes. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Because if your health ain't right, other extracurricular activities tend to take a hit. Hello, family. So, brothers, you know what I'm saying? All right, I'm just, letting you know. Got to get the body right so you can.
And brother, and Sacred Roots.
You got something called
does have a VIP member. No doubt. He does have a VIP member source now. There are discounts and other notifications that you get. I know I get them all the time. Shout out to Men Tonic. It helps with your runs, your basketball game, and brothers, your lady will like it too.
Oh, I think I got the right website. I might not have it. I tried to put it up on there. I don't think that's it. But Sacred Roots, look it up. I might not have the right. I tried to do it the last minute. I don't know if it's .com or if it's .something else. But
store open at Remount Road in Charleston, and also a new one in Somerville.
There you go. 2 locations. Chucktown. If you in the area, you know what to do. Pull up. But yeah, man. A little more update as far as community. I don't even know how I want to start this particular segment of it, but I hope everyone out there is on point, doing good. Hope you're encouraged in the work. If you're tired, do what you have to do to regroup. Mentally tired, need a break. Get that balance. Get whatever you need. Especially if you're someone who spends a whole lot of time in community service, and uplifting the people. That's heavy work. It's taxing, it's tiring, and there's no real reward from it. Other than, you know what I'm saying, not a reward that we're really going to see in our lifetime. This is for the future generations trying to get things started and pick up from there. There you go. He got it on now. And yeah, so I've transitioned to kind of like a new spot pretty much. Shout out to Greer Heights. Greer Heights is where I'm doing the majority. I'll say it's like a headquarters for what's going on. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of detail at the moment, but just know if you're looking to get involved in the upliftment of Black folks, there's going to be plenty of opportunities in the Greer Heights area. Shout out to Greer Heights. Shout out to Miss T, Marquita, Tiffany, Anthony, CJ, Narissa. Y'all don't know them just yet, or some of you might, but those are people putting in the work, especially Miss T, who's built some pipelines down there. I don't mean literal physical pipelines. I'm talking about where a young person get involved in that after school program, goes through youth development, gets accepted into college, she has a 100% acceptance rate. If your son or daughter gets involved in Miss T's program, her, CJ, Narissa, is 100% chance they're gonna qualify for college and go to the next level in her program. And so it's just good to see, man. Hopefully I have a positive announcement on December 6th. What's that? Tuesday? On Tuesday, there's a partnership happening. I won't go into details yet, but hopefully I'll have something positive to talk about. Just a quick update. On Wednesday morning, I guess, is when Tuesday morning is when I'll find out. So I guess Tuesday evening, if all goes well, and it should, got some good stuff happening there. Again, I'm being vague intentionally, not going to go into too much detail, but I'm excited about that. So I'm on reserve take a little bit, holding it in. But great things are happening, man, in Greer Heights, man, and around Charlotte, period. Great things are happening. Just a matter of tapping in and continuing to do the work. And I'm hyped, man. Refreshed, feeling good. I'm ready. And we're back at it, man. As far as, doing these live broadcasts, I kind of want to control the narrative too. Greer Heights has some controversy that comes with it. And so I want to help control the narrative and give proper perspective on what's going on, so things don't get confusing. And when it comes to highlighting a specific thing that's going on, again, I'm being vague, but when it comes to the details, which we'll get to down the road, we know exactly what's going on. We know exactly what's what. We know who the enemies are, who the allies are. We know what the strategy and tactics are being used, because it's not just happening in Greer Heights, it's happening all across the city where Black people live. So in any state. I know Chucktown's been going through a lot of gentrification, as a matter of fact. I'm not sure if Kwanzaa's still on here, but she's been trying to fight that fight for a while. And but positive things are in the works. Community classes, all of that will be relaunching in February. Our main spot will be the Greer Heights Community Center. I can tell you that right off the bat. It's going to be fire. I'm going to tell you now, we're going to funnel into 85% of people in Greer Heights are renters, and there are programs in place to convert Black folks from being renters into homeowners, from renters to homeowners. And all that's been happening is going to happen at a greater scale once we get things going the way we want them to go. So I know I'm being vague on a lot of stuff, and there's some details I can give, but I got my notes in front of me. I'm trying to look how much I want to say about each thing. And let me say this too, in Greer Heights. Shout out to the people to Greer Heights, man. They've established a lot. They got free mental health counseling for their community members, man. That's fire to me. Like, just a lot of resources in Greer Heights. And I'll, as we get more comfortable, and as I get more comfortable with the community and different things like that, I'll go into greater detail. Some things need to stay in-house. But man, I'm excited about the work, man. Excited about the work. And Tuesday evening, I can't see how it's gonna go. Everything should be boom. So I can't wait to announce that. I'm hyped. That's all I'm gonna say about the community updates. I'm gonna wait a little longer. Oh, let me say this. If you are a person who has a knack and a gift for young men, middle school, high school, you have a gift for that, and one of your attributes is loyalty, commitment. You know what I'm saying? What else? Like you're just the person. You're consistent. That's a big word. You're consistent. Hit my inbox. One of the needs that we have that I can speak publicly about in Greer Heights is the need for, I don't like the word programming, but just opportunities of development for young men, middle school, high school in Greer Heights. We need that. Let me just say this. There are other organizations that don't look like us in the neighborhood who have the influence of the young men, because there are very few black men doing the work inside of Greer Heights. The black women always step up. Shout out to Miss T. Always step up. Got the ladies on point. Now we need development for the young men. That's what we need. And let me tell you what this other organization does that don't look like us. Look like, y'all know I'm going with it, like these walls right here. Listen, they lure men with these basketball programs and all of that, and their value system and culture doesn't reflect ours. So they're learning things that don't necessarily help our young men, but they get to play basketball though. You see what I'm saying? So they've lured them in like that. That's all I'll say on that. Marquita, let me know if I'm saying too much, but I'm going to leave it at that. If you are someone who has a knack, a gift, a love for young people, and you want to help them develop, and you're consistent, loyal, committed, preferably Afrocentric, we could use you. We need you. Hit my inbox. We want to get stuff launched and ready to go February, March. So you have time. We can, sit down, put some things together. Right. Then they discard them, right, Marquita? Then after the basketball season, they don't even care about them anymore. It's almost like you let the young black men play a little ball, hoop a little bit, and then that's it. No real development at all. At all. So that's something we want to highlight and change in that community and other communities that don't have it. But black men, the whole reason why we do these lives, primarily of brothers, is because we want to be like, yo, other black men are putting in work. If you ever thought about putting in work, do it. Do it. Black women always step up. Always. They keep the bloodline, man. They keep that thing going. You know what I'm saying? We got to be more involved. No condemnation. Just saying we got to be more involved and help step up. And so we want this to this program, this live, whatever you want to call it, Yip Yap Session, whatever you want to call it. We want to team up, the brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Put in that work. And
can I ditto that? Ditto.
Yeah, ditto that.
Hey,
ditto that.
I didn't want to run past that one thing though.
Yeah.
As you were talking about them coming in and then Marquita said, then they discard them. That's one of the worst things. You hammered home the consistency piece.
Mm-hmm.
If you start connecting with our kids and then you disappear, that's done happened to them enough. So now what you're doing is you're creating trauma on top of trauma and make it harder for those of us who want to create their elevation to be able to connect with them in that way because they've been let down too much. So I can't hammer enough that word you used early, which is consistency, right? And they might try to push back at first, but it's only because they're trying to protect themselves because they've been let down enough. So we're going to get into it. Man, I'm going to vet you for like 2 months before I even let you around any of my kids if I don't know you.
Say word. I put my comment in the chat
a long time ago, bro.
Say it again, Greg.
My mentor told me this a long time ago when I was starting Hill Charlotte, right? He set me down, Dr. Stephen Hancock, and he said, man, you can either be good help or bad help, but you're going to have to recognize which one you're being.
Right.
You'll have to pick a side, and sometimes that temporal help that we want to give people and that program help isn't necessarily the good help that they need,
right?
Because it doesn't do much for them in the long term. So everybody that's thinking about getting into work, make sure you pick a side on whether you're going to be good help or bad help, and if you think that you on the verge of being bad help and what you think you're giving the kids they're not really getting, you need to reevaluate the type of programming you bring into these children.
Facts. And I put the comment at least on the chat that's on my page, League of Intelligence. If you can't see it, my fault. If you're on that page or if you're on YouTube, but I said every organization that I've come across that's doing work with black folks says they need more black men.
It's a fact.
Everyone, for years now, it's the same request. We need more black men getting involved. Period. That's what we need.
Can I get a little personal with this?
Yeah.
For me, it's specifically black men that are in that 78, 77 to 88, 90, like that year. Those hip hop babies, them 80s baby. I'm an 80s baby. I'm 83. You feel me? we're one of the we're a lost generation when it comes to activism, you know, when it comes to public serving. You know, a lot of us are fished out into entertainment, sports, you know, and then of course, you know, the streets. But I've been making a big call out for those that are, you know, in that 78 to 90, 1990, that age bracket. Like we are missing. It's either real young people, or it's the older generation and the elders that are still doing the work, and they tired. Like they're tired. They've been doing work forever, and we've been so focused on hip hop and this so-called quote unquote culture that we have created in hip hop, you know, and we've been so caught up in all of this stuff that we've been missing what is the world gonna say about that generation?
Right.
What are they gonna say about us when we're gone? Are we really gonna be contributors to the growth of this earth, like to the human race? Are we really contributors? My generation, we're contributors to hip-hop culture. That's it. We produce some of the best athletes, some of the best drug dealers, some of the best rappers. Feel me? But that activism part and that social serving part and that social entrepreneur part and that public leadership part, we've missing out on that. So I just want to make a call out for the brothers that are in my generation. I'm 83. We gotta step up. We gotta step up. Real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kwanzaa made a good comment. So many organizations that elders lead, they are begging to pass the torch. That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact. I mean, it's time, man. It's time, and we're not talking about, you know, because sometimes people think, or people might think that the commitment they want, that people want them to make, is something unrealistic. You know, if everyone does a little bit, you know what I'm saying? If you can devote 1 or 2 hours per week at least, you see what I'm saying? I mean, just everyone doing a little bit. All of that helps as long as you're consistent with the time that you commit to.
If everybody does a little bit,
I think that's the part that gets lost a lot of times.
Do a little bit.
That's the part that gets lost for people where sometimes they think that you got to give up like about 2 or 3 days out of a week. Even with the kids that I work with, man, checking in on them, man. And the thing is, it doesn't always have to be some type of set up program. It's like, hey, let's go grab something to eat real quick. They're glad to see you. And I'll tell you like this, I know like with a lot of the young men, the mothers are glad
100%.
A black man is coming to get them.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad that you coming to see him. Talk to him. That's all I really want. And they actually love actually spending time with you. Every young man I've ever worked with.
Right.
Hold up, because you talking that talk right there. You know.
No. Every young man I've ever worked with, man.
I see the jacket.
They don't even care what we're gonna do that day.
You see the jacket? Hold on.
Right. They just want to spend time.
What you got?
What's it say?
If everyone does a little bit,
come on.
You have to do a lot.
Come on.
Get your Hill Charlotte gear, everybody. Get your Hill Charlotte gear.
Let's go. Put the website up. Let's go.
Link in the web in the comments. Get your gear. If everybody does a little bit, nobody would have to do a lot, man.
That's it. We're not asking you spend 6 months. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing that. Just pick some time, like Chris is saying. Pick them up. Call. Be concerned. Pick one young person. One. Like, yo, I'm gonna get you where you need to be. Pick one.
But you know what, Mariva, here's the other piece, because Chris started going down that path. Even if I'm not coming in and consistently engaging with the one, the fact that I can come in and show you that I was a programmer, a coder, something they never ever saw in their life, and understand that they can make more money than they could standing on a corner, doing what they love, in some Vans, some J's, whatever it is they want to wear. Because I've never been exposed to that, right? If I had that, I probably would have never been hustling in my day. Right? And so, but it's a way to turn and teach them how to take that hustle and turn it into a legal hustle, because I've been exposed to somebody on corporate America, government America, wherever. So come give your gift, because your gift wasn't given to you for yourself. It was for you to bless somebody else.
Facts. And if any of this is resonating with anybody who lives in Charlotte and you want to get involved, inbox me. Inbox me. We got youth that are ready. Inbox me. You want to make something happen? Inbox me. That you're gonna hear me say that a lot this year. Inbox me. Let's work. Let's work.
No, that's a fact.
Yo, I ain't gonna let you slide real quick either. So Marifa gave his update, but what he didn't talk, some of the work he's been doing for the past year was investing in men, fathers, who still to this day, although he's not there, 2 weeks from now, he's gonna be keynoting something.
Yes, sir.
Because these people have that level of respect for what Marifa has done. Shout out to a couple of those cats, man. They were able to build relationships with their baby's mother, and they out the system, and they working together. You know what I mean? So I can't even let you slide by and not even talk about what you've been able to do over the past year, bro.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the fatherhood program, man. That's something that kind of work. Man, and Ken, I got another connect to talk about offline when it comes to that too. A brother who's at a halfway house. A lot of the brothers in there have some of the issues that we help to fix, and they have those issues going on. So I'm gonna hit you about that offline. But yeah, man, restoration of the family, and restoration of the family isn't going to be your traditional look of the man and the woman and your children, because certain ships have sailed, right? The relationship wasn't really, meant to be from the get-go, but you can still be a great father and co-parent and a relationship of harmony with with the mother of the children.
Speak
you know
on
what I'm
it.
saying? So that to give your child the tool, because you have to have a father involved. If a father's not involved, a child's 5 times more likely to go to jail. 4 and 5 times more likely to become pregnant as a teenager. You see what I'm saying? 4 and 5 times more likely to get involved in crime, to drop out of school. All these numbers come when masculine energy isn't present. When you take the father out, you got to spend time. You know what I'm saying? Lord of Luck said to Calico, I see what's going on when the father don't take the time. You understand? Like, this is what we got to do. You got to spend the time. So that's something that we reinforce in the fatherhood program. And we don't beat brothers up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a brother will check out for different reasons. Maybe it's economic. Maybe he feels like with his current financial state, he can't be the father he wants to be, and he's ashamed, so he kind of steps away. We help to restore the brother. Like, nah, you good. Not only are we going to help you get skills in a job and more money in your pocket so you can be the father that you want to be, we let you know you have other value to give to your children. You see what I'm saying? It's not just financial. It's a whole lot, but we help restore the brothers to get them back on point. You see what I'm saying? And be proud. I'm proud to be a father. I'm proud to be in my son or daughter's life. I pick them up from school. I put them in the programs. I do all the things I need to do. I step up and do what I need to do with pride, not no corny shame or none of that.
Right.
That's what we do. And we look out, we listen to their problems and their concerns. You know, a lot of us been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, I ain't even mean to get hyped, Kelly. You got me, hyped up on that. But
that's your favorite word,
hope. Program respect. Let's work.
You get hope, bro, all day.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Black family is important. It's important.
What's funny is, though, Marifa, guys come in thinking they just going to do whatever it is to get their certificate.
Right.
And we talking about a whole year, 2 years later. Not only are they giving back, they connected with mom, looking at mom differently and understanding the importance of connection. But now they helping to give other guys jobs,
right?
Being involved in a way that they wasn't even thinking about getting involved in before. Right. So that's what relationship is everything.
Facts.
Right? And
facts.
We in our culture, it's in our DNA to connect, right? We social creatures.
Facts. And if you're someone out there, and right now you're saying, yo, I want to get more involved in this fatherhood program, especially if you're a brother, I want to get more involved in that. Inbox me. We putting in the work, man. boots on the ground. We putting in work. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. And shout out to y'all, man. Again, this is why we do the live broadcast, just to if someone wants an entry point into some community work and to help uplift people, where that. If you're someone who wants to partner up, because you already doing work, say word. How can we partner up and make it even stronger? What can we do? You know what I'm saying? Everyone's humble. There's no egos here. There's no one wants no credit. No one does none of that goofy, corny crap on here. You know what I'm saying? We just want black people to be better. That's it.
Yo, I'm glad you called it what it is. That goofy, corny stuff.
Yeah, man. That's goofy. No one cares about none of that.
Please, Lo. Like, if you really want to get involved, all of us have worked together, man. Like, this is what we do. Like, there's no egos. There's no nothing, man. Like, we just put in work.
That's it. That's it. Try to put each other in better positions, man. That's it. That's it, man. Nothing else to it. Nothing else to it.
Ain't no kicker to it. No nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Don't do the work, baby. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a switch up a little bit to kind of get to these, because we can use these these current events to kind of bring up some other points that we want to get across. Whoa. And I know when I inboxed everybody, and y'all brought up we definitely got to talk about not only Dion and his thing. I know that subject's been kind of worked a lot recently, but Jerry Jones and Kanye, I think, and Brett Favre stealing from Mississippi and all this other kind of stuff. But we can use those topics. Say it again.
The owner of the Phoenix Suns.
On the Phoenix Suns. We can use those topics to go into some other things and bring home some different points that we can use in our daily work and how we think about things. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put the little banner up. What's the first one y'all want to tackle? Dion?
Whatever, whichever one, bro. I think there's a lot to talk about, all of them.
Yeah, there's a lot with Dion and the HBCU.
Hurt me, man.
Big time, Greg.
Hey, bro.
Hold up, man. Hold up. Yeah, y'all know, y'all already know, man. We saw that coming.
Which one?
What, Dion?
Yeah, all right. So there's a lot going on with this, and let me just say it from the get-go. I'm not concerned about what a man can make any decision he wants to make, right? I'm not here for that part of it. We can get into that in a minute. I'm not here to do that. I'm just going to talk about the template that I see, the template. Mm-hmm. And that template is simply, or the mathematical equation, I'll say too, that black labor equals white wealth. And anytime we try to get into a situation where the black labor will equal the black wealth, the other groups will come along and tempt our people with different things. Mm. And I think Jackson State was on its way because of the prestige and the influence and the talent of Deion Sanders. When it came to Jackson State, initially it's going to be about him, but then you transfer and develop something to where even if Deion leaves, Jackson State has so elevated to a point where it's in line with these other Power 5 schools and everything's like that. That's, you know what I'm saying? So I think people are a little passionate about it because Deion kind of, well, anyway, that's what I'm going to focus on. The template of it. He's not the first. He's not the last. And I'm not judging him. He felt he had to do what he had to do based on his value system and the principles that guide him. I'm gonna talk about the principles and values that guide me, which would have led me to make a different decision when it comes to what I do with this coaching position at Jackson State. So we're not gonna bash or berate unless you feel
we can't bash him. We can't bash him.
I'm just gonna speak my mind on some things. How do y'all feel about it? I'm gonna let you have the floor.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Let's go.
So I'll just go ahead and start off by saying I don't know. I think a lot of brothers already know, man. I'm a big Falcons fan. Falcons fan. I'm a fan of all Atlanta teams. I've only got one jersey that I've ever purchased, and it's Deion Sanders. Mm-hmm. Deion Sanders told y'all in 1993 it must be the money. Mm-hmm. So I don't.
I remember that.
but hey, man, I think the whole thing with Deion Sanders and the reason that a lot of folks are upset is because it was a great story. It was a great story. It was a great fundamental when he came to Jackson State. Some of the things that he said about Jackson State was that, hey, this school doesn't have the resources as the Power 5 schools. Like this is, why can't we have nice things? Why can't they have the nutrition, the training tables? It's just like Florida State, Georgia, Alabama, anybody else. In fact, he even took his salary, which I think was like $300,000 or $1.2 million over 4 years, and he dedicated, said, I'm gonna take half of that money and I'm gonna use it to build resources of Jackson State. I'm gonna use my platform to elevate HBCUs, so everybody takes a look at us, and let's be able to go get some of those same kids.
Right. And then he said, Chris, God called him to do it.
God,
that's all I'm saying.
God called him to do it. Now, I will tell you this: when everybody heard this, it was a beautiful story. This dude went and got the #1 recruit, Travis Hunter, out of Georgia, who was going to Florida State, which was Deion's college, and he came to an HBCU, going anywhere in the country. And he went to HBCU. Got another ESPN 300 kid. He came to Jackson State. He started getting guys out of the transfer portal that could have played anywhere. They came to Jackson State. Great story.
Hey, Chris, can I say this? The reason why that's important, for anyone who doesn't know, the majority of our talent will not go to an HBCU. They go to the other institutions run by other folks, better facilities, better money, and makes them rich off our talent. Keep going.
PWIs. And I'll say this: I went to a PWI. Well, we'll get to that later. But yeah,
you went to a private white institution?
No.
Why you set it out like that?
Yeah,
predominantly white.
PWI.
Predominantly white.
Oh, predominantly white. All right.
Predominantly white. I know, and I saw Terrence Levine also in the comments, man. T Levine, man, my boy, man, big brother. Happy Founders Day to Alpha Phi Alpha. But it was a great story, and I mean, I love the way he uses his platform. To anybody who watches college football, you know that game day is really important. Game day is a big thing. Yeah. Game day came to Jackson State. They usually don't go to HBCU.
Yeah, see the influence?
Came to Jackson State. It was a big thing. They highlighted HBCU culture.
Yeah.
It
can't bash that, man. Can't bash him.
It was I'll say all these things, they were good. Now, the only thing I'll actually say, and I'll say not bash Deion, because hey, I still got love for Deion. The man went from a salary of $300,000 a year to $5 million a year. The only thing that I can say is if y'all
say that. Don't you say that one time and just try to float it over like that's nothing. Say it again.
The man went from $300,000.
He didn't go from $300,000 because he gave half his salary.
Gave half of it
from $150,000
to $5 million a year. $5 million a year.
And so I'll give my opinion on that later. Keep going.
We'll get to that. And so the only thing that I actually go back, man, when I think of this story, this whole story, like I said, the man made a choice, said it was going to be better for him. The only thing I think back is, I don't know if you go back, if you remember the Alabama State game. The Alabama State game with Eddie Robinson, the coach for Alabama State. When this man went and told Deion, "You ain't swag, I'm swag." Like you ain't even gonna be here after a while, but I'm still gonna be here in the trenches. And they bashed the coach for Alabama State. They bashed the dude. They threw him away. They were like, we rolling with Deion. Now that dude's over there looking like,
I told y'all.
Yeah, I told you what was gonna happen. So for me, to Mariva's point, God told me to came here. Did he uplift Jackson State over the 3 years that he was there? Yeah, he did. He did. Jackson State was, I'll be honest with you, when it came to HBCUs, they weren't the top echelon. They weren't the Southerns. They weren't even South Carolina State. Shout out to all my cousins and my fam who went there to Orangeburg. They weren't with the Gramblin's who had the legacy. They weren't FAMU. They were Jackson State. So he did uplift the program. He did put some shine on HBCUs. But in the end, will it sustain? That's actually what is gonna be the telling story in about 3 or 4 or 5 years. Because for me, I really don't think that it's gonna sustain. I think
look, yo, all right, this is what happens with that. This is what I start thinking about when I see If I ever see black men being like crucified on media, right? I start asking a lot of questions. Okay, I start asking a lot of questions. So one of the questions that I'm asking that I just don't know, and we'll probably never know, what happened in that negotiating room when Dion went back to Jackson State and said, "Yo, Colorado want to give me $5 million a year. I need y'all to, because Dion did this. I need y'all to give me this. I need y'all to do this." You know it. It's just what happens in negotiations. You don't just take a deal.
But we know Jackson State ain't got $5 million.
Come out. Y'all not hearing what I said though.
What?
You don't know what he asked for. He could have asked for some equity.
If he even asked,
he could have. No, nah. Let's not even talk. We know how negotiations go.
You think he asked for more money?
Negotiations go. You don't just take a deal.
Okay.
If somebody doesn't send you a deal and you just sign it and take it, you go back to the institution that you represent and say, "This is what's on the table, bro. But this is what I need y'all to do so I can stay here." Because
he said, but Greg, he said it wasn't about any money. He said that. That's when the time he first came on, no money involved.
What I'm saying is, we know that's a lie. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Let's not even. Let's not insult.
I'm just giving you what he said.
To his defense,
let's not insult anybody's intelligence, right? Deion Sanders ain't even go to an HBCU.
Facts.
He didn't even go to one. Like,
he didn't even go to class at FSU.
Stop acting like we don't know who prime time is.
Like, you think he was lying to the people? He was lying.
Come on, bro. Somebody offer you $5 million. You making $150,000. You talk about it's not about the money. Get out of here. What?
Yo, hold up. But the thing is, like,
what, bro?
The only time I had to sideways,
come on, bro.
He said that the money that he's concerned about was not for him, but for his assistants. And I was like,
listen, bro, I have my take. I'm gonna give it. This coming.
I'm like, bro, you could give them a recommendation to go to Colorado, Miami, Alabama if the money's about them, because the money's not about him.
6 athletes with him. Look, he is bringing 6 athletes with him.
But we can't give him a pass either, because if we talking about consistency and what blacks need to do in our communities, and then Deion said all these things about them going to a black college and not going to a D1 school, I can't sit here in good conscience and sign off and say that's freaking okay after what he said. It came out of his mouth. Whether he was lying or telling them what they want to hear, at the end of the day, it's a whole lot of kids that decide to go to Jackson State because of what Deion
I do agree about that.
Because of Deion.
He could have finished out his tenure with those kids that he had come to the school. He could have.
I'm gonna give you a case in point, man. Before he got to Jackson State, his other son, not the quarterback, the defensive back, he was already in college at the University of South Carolina, the same place that I went. Now, if he was so big to, hey, we need to take our talent to HBCUs, his son would have never ended up at the University of South Carolina before Jackson State. He would have been like, yo, you need to go here. I mean, you go to FAMU, go to South Carolina State. Don't go to University of South Carolina. And the thing is, like, when he goes to Colorado, his son is coming with him. They're leaving Jackson State. They're gone. And the NIL money that they have. If Deion Sanders could have got a Power 5 job before Jackson State, he would have never touched down in Jackson, Mississippi. That I do believe.
Okay. I'm going to say this. The impression I got when Deion first took the job, because Chris, you mentioned Power 5 school, was that the long play is that we're going to help turn HBCUs into power type schools so that our talent no longer goes to predominantly white institutions, but comes here and stays within us so that the money made off of our athletic ability will benefit us instead of the money made off of our athletic ability making other people rich. I go back to the formula that I talked about before, the template, the formula. Black labor equals white wealth. We saw it in slavery. We saw it afterwards, right? We're trying to break that formula down so we can now empower ourselves. So with that in place, and then Deion pretty much co-signing that, even putting a spiritual aspect on it, saying, God told me to do this work, which is to uplift HBCUs, do his part to uplift HBCUs to where our athletes, again, no longer have to go to these other white institutions, but you can come into an HBCU and do the same thing, but for us. So when you change course, which outside looking in looks like when they offered you the $5 million to coach at a so-called power school, Colorado had like only won one game last year, I think it was. So I don't know what power they're talking about, but whatever. They're in a power conference. I get it. So as soon as that opportunity came, though, you left. And once again, our talents will follow and go to Colorado. Colorado's going to benefit to the tune of millions of dollars off of our success on the football field. That money won't see our neighborhoods or communities. Won't benefit us. It's going to go to them. Now, while you're free to make any decision you want, right? I heard someone say he's doing what's best for him and his family. I will say that my value system would take me in a different direction because I don't put me first. It's community first. That's our African ancestral way. You put what's good for the community, what's good for us as a people to help restore us back to where we need to be. Someone has to be willing to sacrifice. Now, again, no one's ever offered me $5 million. So I've never turned down $5 million, but I've turned down $300,000 in service to our work. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm broke and I ain't even have a car for 6 years. But anyway, I'm gonna get into all that. But I'm just saying, I do see what some people are saying, but I'm gonna hold true to, breaking the template, restoring it, fixing it, reversing it from black labor equaling white wealth to black labor equals black wealth. And then it circulates among us, and we do what we have to do in this capitalistic system to pick ourselves up. Because if we keep doing this, where we go work for white institutions, someone said, how can you criticize Deion Sanders and you work for white people? I thought that was funny, but that's a good point. I understand that point. So there's going to be some contradictions here. By the way, 90 to 95% of black people who work for white people. So they continue to be our employer. They can dictate so many different things, and then we feel like we can't do much because we'll lose our jobs. Or we have to wear their clothes and talk how they talk and present ourselves the way they want us to present ourselves because we don't employ ourselves. You see what I'm saying? But if we keep leaving and going for the money, you see what I'm saying? If our best keeps going to work for white people, not just in sports, but in engineering and movies, everything that we're talented at, mathematics, like our scientists go work for them, our doctors work for them.
I feel you, Mauricio, but I still go back to, I don't know what happened in that negotiation room, and I'm pretty sure Prime came back with a deal. He came back with something, and they couldn't meet him.
From Jackson State.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went to Colorado. And hold on, Chris. And he came back with something, bro. Okay. And they couldn't match it. And then we also have a history in our community of not paying people they worth. You know what I'm saying? We have a history of we have a history of using each other and not paying each other what we're worth, bro, and holding our resources and not giving what somebody actually deserves. So what my thing is, I really want to know what happened in that negotiation room that Deion broke. Because he had a breaking moment in the negotiation room where he said, I'm going to go take this because I don't see it happening long term. I don't, at this institution, I don't see something happening. And I got
Two things on that, Greg. So because he even actually pointed out when they asked him the question, have you been offered a Colorado job? He says, I got a couple of offers. So he was negotiating with a few schools at that point. And the other point, too, and this also crosses to what Marifo actually pointed out on, why we, with black talent, white wealth. And I think everybody knows the stories, 60s and 70s and everything. Black talent wasn't going to play at these major schools because we couldn't. They wouldn't let you in, and until they actually started seeing like, well, god darn, black players are better than mine.
They're pretty entertaining.
Yeah. So they're bigger, stronger, faster. So they started to entice us to come to their schools. We've got better resources for you.
Right.
And that resource and that resource gap is what actually enticed our players to actually go to these predominantly white institutions, Power 5, whatever you want to call them. Mm-hmm. And that gap has never closed. In fact, Deion even said that when he got to Jackson State, they don't have the resources. If you ever go to Clemson, Georgia, University of South Carolina, you go see the football facility, that thing looks like a palace. You can get your hair cut in there. They have a studio. I mean, a literal music studio in there. The nutrition table, the training tables, everything. You go to South Carolina State, and it looks like something that was still back in the 1960s and 1950s. And so the resources, in a nutshell, man, that's got to be closed. And he knew he was never going to get the resources that he wanted for the players that he actually needed. With Colorado, they'll just throw the bag at you.
He was never going to get. Y'all said so many things I want to talk about. He was never going to get the resources.
I'm thinking. I really believe something happened at Jackson State that he couldn't see that vision happening at that institution.
Okay. So you're saying
they got him in a new facility on YouTube.
Hold on, you saying there was some type of corruption issue? Because I heard someone else say he had the athletic director and him had an issue. So if we're saying that there were some circumstances that we're not exactly privy to that prevented Deion from helping Jackson State become what it needs to become, then I'm not going to really judge. I'm not going to judge too hard on that point. But you still don't have to go to Colorado. You still don't got to go to a white institution and bring our talent over there to, again, make them rich. Are white people going to get rich off of black athleticism? Yes or no?
I feel you. Yeah.
Hey, look back to I'm gonna go right back. If he never, and Potts just put it in there. If he never stood up on culture from the beginning, I wouldn't even be saying that right now. Because Prime always been about the money. But you came in. This is what you said we was gonna do for the culture. We was directing people to go here, and it's right back to what we was talking about earlier with young people. If I say these things and then I do something different, cognitive dissonance. Now what I'm gonna do is, I don't care. It might be an athlete, professional athlete who come now. Nobody's gonna trust them because of what just happened right now today. And I get, you know what I mean, people got their own choices. But at the same time, you stood on principle and you said certain things and you did the exact opposite. Not okay.
I got a question. Did anybody see when he actually broke the news to his team what he actually said?
I tried to watch a little bit, but it turned me off. So I stopped watching.
Exactly. He sat down in the chair and he said a few things and he said, well, hey, in this coaching game, you either get elevated or terminated.
Right.
Nobody at Jackson State was going to terminate Deion Sanders from that job. He could have stayed there for the next 20 years.
Nobody.
Until they carried him out in the coffin.
And Chris, he told the kids, don't get into the portal. Don't. I can leave, but you can't. It's crazy. But listen, Kwanzaa said his long-term plan is to get to Florida State where he went to school. There and again is my cultural issue. My value system is I'm going to go where we are and try to help us get right. I definitely understand there are issues that HBCUs has. I have my big issue, which is curriculum. You go to an HBCU, you're not tapped in to being a sovereign person, someone who wants to build your own. You're more than likely going to be programmed to be assimilated into America to be pro-black, not Afrocentric. But we'll get into that another time. So I have my issues too, but I'd rather go to it and help uplift it rather than try to, once again, go work for white institutions. And again, we already know what's going to happen. They're going to get rich off of our talent, richer and richer, and we're not. We're not going to benefit at all. We're not. Only the individuals will benefit.
I have one more thing on it though.
Yeah.
I actually hope he's successful. I truly actually hope he's successful because with the number of black success, he's got to win.
But that means more money for. I guess.
Hold on. But I'll tell you why. Man. This is the only reason why. If you actually look at college football as it is right now, there's like about a handful of black coaches. a handful of black. No, seriously, there's about as many black coaches in major college football as they are right now on this chat. No, I'm talking about like right here, like 4. There's not that many.
So the answer is to be a black coach at a white institution. You want more? I'm just asking Chris.
Hold on. I want us to be able to have the same opportunities to get that bag if they actually want to get it. That's it. I mean, I hope he's successful.
I'd rather us go to an HBCU and make that on point instead of once again making white institutions pop. I'm tired of us doing that, man.
Let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this. Dion donates $1 million every year to Jackson State. Is it worth it?
Oh, okay. Now we talking. Give me more strategy.
Dion creates a student pipeline of athletes from black institutions, from HBCUs to PWIs, where they're actually going to get recruited to go to the NFL. Like you gotta think about Dion's in charge of these young men. All right. He don't see no future for them going to the NFL and where they are. And these guys are giving everything that they got to get to the league. Right. And he doesn't see these guys getting to the league from an HBCU. He just doesn't see it.
Not at the moment. So you have to build the pipeline.
As good as the pipeline, bro. If as good as that team is, I can't name one person that might go in the draft.
Travis
like, I'm not a scout.
I got one.
Off that JSU team right now. That's probably
I'm not a scout. I know they've been talking, but Greg,
what they going to be 5th, 6th round? What they
going to do? Who's going to build it?
You got people from A&T that made it in like the 4th and 3rd round.
The 4th and 3rd round. But you don't really get a good contract when you in the 4th and the 3rd and the 5th round. You don't get a good contract, bro.
It was in development.
You get red-shirted, bro. You don't get a good contract.
So you got to build it.
Yo, Dion,
if we keep leaving, it'll never be built.
Dion's trying to make
ever.
This is my thing, right? This is what we do in the black community all the time, bro.
What?
We believe people as soon as they come in. As soon as they come in, and we don't take their history into attack. We don't look at them and say, we just ingratiate them into the community of doing service. And
so that's a different point, though.
No,
I thought we were talking about the pipeline.
Let me just, I know I'm going to get to the pipeline.
Okay, my bad.
But this is what Dion was only there for 3 years.
Right.
Dion was only reformed for 3 years. Okay. Before Dion was at Jackson State, we didn't know Dion to do anything else but to talk smack on Sunday. That was it. All of a sudden, Dion wakes up, he's consciously woke, and everybody's praising him like, welcome to the HBCU family, you non-HBCU graduate. Oh my God, you're going to come save us. This is the same guy that said all about the money. He's going to take the money. Oh, this nigga's crazy.
But Greg, in my defense, I said I'm focusing more on the template. Dion just happens to be the latest person to do it. But I'm just talking about our continual habit of going to work for white people instead of staying, sacrificing, and building our own so we no longer have to depend on them. That's my whole point.
I feel you. If it was Colin Kaepernick, we can all be upset. But this is Deion Sanders, y'all. Like, what are we talking about here?
Greg, you just said something, Greg, because here's the thing. It shouldn't matter who the damn name is. If we talking about
I like that, Tamara.
But I ain't giving nobody a pass because that's his status. Everybody can convert. And so if we give him a pass, then we give everybody else a pass. I'm not just gonna hold you accountable on the other reason. Dion gotta get it too.
He gotta get that work.
Yo, we gotta start having protocol for when black people are now woke and they want to get into this I want to represent and lead all black people and be the face of these black people in America. Right. We need a better protocol. We need a better system of vetting people out. And we need to be able to say, he's on a quiz right now. We are watching him to see if something's
a probation period.
You know what I'm saying? It needs to be a vetting period before we just appreciate. Listen, I remember when I became a community activist, there was elders in the community that had me on a probational period.
That's a fact.
We're not embracing him yet. This little new new zealous person about bringing community equity. We're not embracing him yet. We're gonna wait until he sweat. We're gonna wait until he feels some trial and some tribulation before we acclaim him a leader in the black community. That's what our own disappointment is, because we be uplifting brothers that don't deserve the stage that we giving them. First of all, Dion ain't did nothing for us to be holding him up. Marifa, come on, Marifa. When the last time you thought Deion Sanders was woke?
That's not my subject. Why are you talking about me? I'm just talking about it's the principle of the thing. And your value system will dictate the kind of decisions you make. And I'm simply saying, me, with the value system that I have, I would have made a different decision. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. I would have done it differently.
Money, I definitely would make sure, like, if you could take 300,000 from Jackson State and then take 150 of it and give it back to Jackson State, that means you could take 5 million from Colorado and take 2.5 and give it to Jackson State too. Straight
and
up.
If he does that, he'll have my respect. Because I'm definitely down for siphoning money from white institutions to give to us. I'm all down for that.
If he 100%. Does that, I'm down.
100%.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
But the likelihood of that, because you just described what kind of person he is. So, that's what you said.
I wish you played. I wish you could play the video, bro.
Listen, I was gonna play it, and I feel like they might try to flag us, man. I got it queued up though, right here. I got it right here on the YouTube. Must be the money. I got it queued up.
Did we just make a consensus as black men with Dion? If Dion gives half his salary or even $1 million of his salary to Jackson State every year, he's forgiven.
I didn't say forgiven. I didn't say that.
I
didn't say that. I'm saying that can be. I mean, I can endorse that part of it. I'll never agree. And such. Well, it depends.
Wow, Terrence, that's hard.
Then what do you say? Then the corruption will take that money for their gain. Like, listen, that is a problem in HBCUs. That is a problem.
Black bourgeoisie now.
Yeah, man, that's an issue.
Black bourgeoisie now. What they gonna do with the money if the money comes?
Yeah, that's a big problem, man. That's a big problem. So I'm not. Wow. I wanted someone who's really ingratiated. Look at that word in the HBCU world to kind of come up here and speak on it. But y'all scary sometimes.
Wait, man, are you trying to say that there's financial corruption inside of HBCUs?
Hey, my boy T. Levine already put out the school. He put the school out there.
Oh, he put
it should be schools in plural.
That's why I'm gonna say T went to South Carolina State. We can go right at Johnson C. Smith.
Hey, yo,
who was a white man, by the way, but I'm not gonna clown JCSU. Yep. I had a lot of friends who went there. That's my peoples. I had a lot of things going on, but Johnson C. Smith was a white man. That's all I'm saying.
What if Jackson State has financial corruption there, and Dion was like, I might as well go work for a white institution if y'all gonna be doing this to me.
There you go, yo.
This is the thing. We never know what's happening behind the scenes when stuff like this happens. That's why I just want to know what happened in that negotiation room. Like, where did Jackson State drop the ball?
Oh, so you just wait a minute. You just said this whole thing about Dion. Now it's Jackson State who dropped the ball. Which one, man?
Hey, Greg said he's gonna give Dion a pass.
He ain't never did nothing.
Marifa, I'm conflicted, man. This is Coach Prime. I'm conflicted. I don't know what to do. Is Dion Sanders?
I'm not gonna lie. Dion was my favorite athlete of all time.
My favorite.
So it kind of hit me like, come on, Dion. That's what we doing.
Come on, dog.
That's what we do. Colorado for the money.
Come on,
man. Yo, I thought we about to build something here. We about to make Jackson State and other HBCUs respectable to the degree that the black athlete says, I'm not going to your white institution. I'm coming with my people. We gonna get on point over here. I thought that's what we were doing.
He couldn't go to a half black private PWI. He went to college. Yo, Colorado is like the whitest. When he went to go talk to the students, I said, "Oh, did you see the video? He put the jersey on."
Kwanzaa, what facility you talking about? Colorado facility? I don't care about now how good a facility look. I don't care.
Yo,
any of it. He was never gonna say no to that. See, and that's why I want to have a conversation about the value system, man. So people can't get you with shiny objects and money and all this to get you off your square, man.
Gotta see the facility.
Right.
Hey.
He saw them weights.
Like this.
He saw the weight.
He saw the weight room.
He saw the.
Y'all go to
the weight room. Got it.
He saw the football field got lines on it.
The football field, the grass is greener. They got real grass.
Yeah.
Man, them boy got a barber shop inside.
They got a barber shop in the. They got a barber shop right now. I can't say no to that.
Hey, hell up, they got a studio.
A studio. I can write my raps.
Yo, y'all seen the video of the Jackson State game when they was singing that song?
Yeah. People were mad about that too. They ain't got no class. They ain't got no all this. All right, man. Because they know what he said. He said God told him.
Man, y'all
told me to do this work.
Y'all stadium ain't never been sold out. So just chill out. Relax. Okay. They stadium ain't never been sold out. All right. Jackson State, they should be throwing him a go away party and figure out how they could partner with Dion for the next
word.
What? Hey, yo, listen here.
Greg is all over the place tonight, man.
Hey, look.
You just said what kind of person he is. Now you telling him to throw a party for him.
Bruh, if I was at Jackson State, I'd be trying to get in Dion pockets right now. I would not be trying to be his enemy. I would be sitting there like, yo, how we going to get some of this money you getting, bro? You already gave half the salary to us. Like, you going to do this? You going to continue this? Like,
right. Appreciate you, Pops.
Again?
Yeah, Greg.
All they can do is find the address, man.
I'm having so much fun with this right now.
I got you. Hey, listen.
I couldn't wait. When I saw the lineup tonight, I was like, yes. Usually I'm the one who's laid back.
Kwanzaa said they got 3 or 4 pools. He couldn't resist. They got a pool for the backstroke. They got a pool for do the butterfly in. Another pool
and
you
they got
dive.
And they got water in the pool.
You can have a lecture room.
It comes with his own robe with his name on it.
Got the robe and all. He couldn't say no to that.
Yeah, come on, man.
You gotta remember, dude. When he got to Jackson State, he was like, y'all don't even have the names on the back of your jerseys.
Hey, man.
When he got to Jackson State, it wasn't no white lines on the football field. It wasn't no logos on the touchdowns. The field goal post was closer. You know what I'm saying? When he got to Jackson State, it was empty. They ain't had no football equipment. They was playing 2-hand touch. And now they mad at him like they did something for him. Like,
and now, hey, Chris, remember when you said now that he's gone, it'll be like maybe we'll see in 3 or 4 years. I don't think it's gonna take that long. I think it's already right back to where it was. The prestige that Dion brings himself was never associated with Jackson State itself. It's almost like it don't matter who coaches Notre Dame. Everyone knows in the football world that's Notre Dame. Don't matter who the coach is. You were supposed when you to me, the time to leave was when Jackson State had that. Now you can go. The work is done. Jackson State is Jackson State. Don't matter who's coaching. Look at the legacy. Look at the culture. Look at what we do from a football perspective, not HBU culture and that little niche like that. I'm talking about in a football sense. That's what he came for, from the football point of view. Yeah. That's when the work is done and you leave. Not when another college like Colorado gives you $5 million, man.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
Yo, shout out to Tracy. We laughing, but poverty is a tool of war. Like, for real, for real.
JCU was effed up. I mean, I don't think much changed. But I've never been to the campus. I've never seen. So I'm speaking off outside looking in.
I think it depends. If you know, one of those athletes that used to come and visit Jackson State and see Dion, if one of those guys take the helm, like a Warren Sapp or something like that.
Yo,
you don't see like no other former players.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Who's the head coach at Tennessee State? Let's see if any of y'all 3 brothers know.
I don't know.
George? You got it, Greg. Eddie George. And you know how you had to think about that, right?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't even know that.
Exactly. Everybody knew who the coach at Jackson State was because it's Deion Sanders.
Right.
Nobody's got Eddie George's. Nobody got Eddie George's jersey.
Yeah,
nobody care about
true.
Eddie George.
That's true. If Warren Sapp though, nah,
we should get.
Nah,
unclean water, roaches, small facilities. It's bad. Yeah, and I can think of a couple of HBCUs in my head that I've been to that have that same problem. Listen, man, HBCUs do have some serious problems. I just thought that with the prestige Dion had, we can start to turn it around slowly but surely. Turn around. Now you don't have to sign up for that work, but when you make an announcement in a press conference, that's what you're signing up for, and that God told you, and you don't. It's not about the money for you. You present all of this, right? Yeah. If he never said any of that, he came, coach, got a better deal because he wants to move on. No one would have said nothing. But when you proclaim all of this, now it's like, yo.
And to be very, very serious, and I'm having fun with it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
No, I got you.
To be very, very serious, man. Like we talked about consistency earlier. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing that I could walk away and say is messed up about the situation is Dion did exactly what we talk about with these programs that come in the neighborhood, build relationships with kids, and then go off to the next stage of their lives. And then that consistency is broken. And then all you did was you were bad help.
Come on.
You were bad help.
Greg,
we
have a program right now in Greer Heights that's supposed to be doing serious work. Supposed to be giving a certain skill set to the young people.
Yeah.
The young people already reported back and saying they're not doing what they said they're going to do, but they take a lot of pictures and get photo ops. They're going to use those pictures and use some falsified data to justify getting a whole bunch of money, nonprofit money, contract money, and they're going to leave the neighborhood. What you just said is exactly what people do. That's what I meant by the template. Same thing Dion did. We get used. We get used with no real change, right? We got you. JCSU was used to put him in a better position. Now he gonna get the $5 million, and he gone. Same thing. That program came in. They needed more photo ops. They needed more portfolio, more resume stats, and all of that. They got that. No real change happened. They're about to get paid, and they're gone. Exactly what you just said. That's why I got hyped just now, because that's what I'm talking about. The template. Yeah. Same thing. So I'm asking, what's our value system? What are our values? Because values dictate what you're gonna do, what your behavior is gonna be, what you stand for, what's right. Your values dictate that. What are our values?
And the other part to it, Marifa, whoever comes beyond Dion, he might bring a brand new system in. So you just screw every kid that's in that school because they may not fit into the system that he brings to that school. So if they was going to be a fourth or fifth rounder, they may not even be a fourth or fifth rounder at that point because it's like, man, it's just crazy.
Yeah, like I was going to go to a school that passes the ball. Give me a school that does that. I can't think of one on the top of my head. Instead, I said, I'm going to come to JCSU. Yeah. But now you might come in, you might be a run-heavy type offensive coordinator and coach, and now the receiver don't even really touch the ball like that. I don't get the looks that I was going to get. Something football related like that. But I really want to go back to that template, man. That template, man. That black labor equals white wealth. Shout out to Claude Anderson who wrote that book, man. Listen, man, I'm telling you. It's what up, Freddie? Freddie in the building. I ain't seen Freddie in a long time. Hey, Freddie, we got to get up, man.
But them boy do need to improve them facilities, though.
Yeah, that goes into some other, like with the money. Listen, when you're I don't want to say poor school. When you're cash challenged, there you go. How about that? When you're cash challenged, and again, there's no value system apart from capitalistic type values. So I'm gonna go for me, get all I can for me. You know what I'm saying? Take the money any way I can. When you don't have that value system in place, corruption's going. I mean, it's going to be the way to school.
Well, I just know on a side note, man, all these John C. Smith alumni, if y'all hearing on this call, can y'all put some money down to get some air conditioning in Bray Boy? I mean, as good as that basketball team is, bro, that thing's just nothing but a sweat box, and the basketball team different.
Bray Boy still ain't. I've been a Smith Bray Boy in a couple years. Bray Boy still ain't upgraded. Come on, man.
I'm just saying. I mean, the boys got to prove.
What you say, Jamar?
They
How
are
does an
choosing
institution like
what
a
they
college
want to
come
invest
out
in.
of this poor financial state?
I like what Pot said. How much
That's a loaded question.
should he be required to give by himself?
Oh no, that ain't Potts. That's Jacoby Pratt. I know Jacoby. Shout out to Pratt.
Look, I'm tired. My bad.
No, you good. You good. How much sacrifice should he be required to give by himself? I mean, the only sacrifice I'm going to require him for me, Pratt, is just to honor what you said. You said you're the one who said you were going to do this work. You're the one who said God told you. Mm-hmm. You said you were going to play a key role in turning all this around, not just for Jackson State, for HBCUs. You said that.
But that's why we're not supposed to be listening. Look, when you first come into this community work, bro, you got a lot of zeal and you don't have a lot of wisdom. You got a lot of zeal and you want to tell everybody what needs to be done and what needs to happen, but you don't got a lot of wisdom.
Like LeBron, not one, not two, not three.
Right? You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful for, like, man, shout out to my mentor, Dr. Hancock, bro, because he told me when I started. He said, you be careful what you want to take responsibility for. Because when it goes wrong, it's on you.
It's on you.
When it goes right, it's on you. So you better be careful about what you could come in this community work and say, oh, I want to make sure that all of these kids have graduating GPAs and they all go to college. And all right, start a program and none of your kids go to college. See what happens. Because you came out and you said you wanted to change this particular thing. And you don't even know what you're talking about. So a little bit of that is Dion high on zeal and just talking, and him not having community leaders around him that represent this culture, that represent leadership inside of the community, that can give him real guidance. Because now you're an influencer, not just for Jackson State. You represent Black people straight up, and you're a voice for Black people. And if you don't have mentors around you that can guide you through that, you're going to end up saying something that you can't actually perform. You feel me? Because you're just talking on zeal. So lack of wisdom made him say, y'all need to leave PWIs and come to HBCUs. Because he didn't even think about what he was saying. He didn't even think that included him too.
Okay, hold up. I had to probably disagree with you on that one, Greg. I think he actually knew. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. Because remember that this is the same dude that said he created a whole persona so he could get paid. Because he said, when I came in the league, I saw how much cornerbacks were making, and I said, nah, that's not good enough. Dion is a marketer. This dude created a whole persona going to Jackson State, just like he did when he came into the league.
Okay, what do you think, Chris, about the issue of Black flight? In other words, Black folks leave our community to go live and build in white communities. That's basically that's the thing I want to elevate to, rather than just Dion himself, but just the act of that. That seems to me it's a problem. But what do you think?
It absolutely is a problem, dude. I know there's a lot of jokes that sometimes happen in our community, man, that frankly are not funny, where they actually say, oh man, there's too many Negroes moving in around here, I gotta get out. And
wow.
Come on, G, I know you've heard that before. I mean, it's almost sometimes when we get the colonizer mentality, where we think that we can't be around our own people because it's not safe. So when you say that, and I don't know exactly how you're relating it to the Dion portion of it, but
because he left, going to a white institution.
But I think at the same time, I still think that was the end game. I think that was the end game.
But overall, though, with us doing that, I mean, is that a problem to you or not?
Yes, it's a problem.
Okay,
it's always going to be a problem.
Okay.
Him going to the PWI is a problem.
Or I'm talking about us leaving our communities to go build and work and live in white communities. That to me is a problem. And this is just a specific, detailed example, right? But this overall, in the black community, you tend to leave, right? You leave the struggle black neighborhood, live amongst white people, work at their jobs. You see what I'm saying? We do all of that instead of like building. Easier said than done, of course. Easier said than done. But I'm just saying, if that continues to be the pipeline, where our best and brightest, I wouldn't even say our best and brightest, I'm just saying our people who are talented leave our particular community and we go build theirs up. Again, listen, Claude Anderson said 95% of our disposable income is spent in white communities. 95. So they got 100% of their income plus another 95% of our income. Now, no wonder them neighborhoods be rich, houses big, lawn care, shopping centers and all of that. Like they rolling in it. All because we're not building community off of our values. I'm gonna keep saying that V word, Kelly, because that thing, I want to challenge people. I want to know what your values are.
It's your principles.
What are your principles, man? Like, what are they? Because we're bought too easily. I'm not even talking about Dion specifically. Just us as a people. We're just so moved by money so easily. We build BET, Black Entertainment Television, we sell it. So we take our talent, we create something called Versus, Black owned, and we sell it. Like over and over and over. We take what we build and we sell it to white folks. And we don't, like, that's a value problem. Like we value the trinkets instead of the substance. That's, not trying to be too heavy tonight. It's our first one back, but man, that's real. Bothers me.
You gotta think about, all right, why is that happening? Why do people want to leave the hood? Why wouldn't you want to leave a violent, drug-infested neighborhood?
Oh, so all our neighborhoods are like that?
But the question is, why is it violent?
All right, let's be honest. Let's not go crazy right now, because I just moved out of my neighborhood. I just left Orchard Trace for that exact reason. Because I got children, and they're not gonna live in a violent neighborhood.
I feel you.
You feel me? I just watched one of my mentees get shot in the head from a stray bullet. Guess who don't want to stay in that hood no more? Me.
I got you. So I'm just to a question to your point about not wanting to live in that environment. I'm wondering, why haven't we organized conversations from our so-called black middle class to organize in certain spots together? Because usually what happens is people just tend to go live amongst the white folks, but we're not having those. Maybe we are. I'm not part of those. So invite me, but we're not having the conversations to where, let's move over here. By the way, I only bring that up because we're doing that. I can't get into the details right now, but we're doing that, and I'll announce more later on. But building black neighborhoods that are nonviolent, that are full of black prosperity, black excellence, that's on the table. Just want to put that out there. But I don't see those things happening, Greg, too many times. Usually it's honorable to want to keep your kids safe. No one's going to question that. I'm just simply saying we tend to go amongst them. And it's kind of weird to think that your child's safer, maybe in a different way, but is your child really safer amongst white people? Because lynching, they said, starts in the classroom. And so I might not have a physical endangerment, but my child's psychology is definitely under more pressure in a white community. But I'm just bringing all those points up. But I still agree, if there's shooting, robbing, and all kind of stuff going on, the human reaction is to get out of there. I mean, forget all that. You got to get out of there. I just want us to have the alternative set and grounded in black excellence. We can move and build our own communities. We can do this. 100%. What you saying? In a capitalistic system, the end game is to sell. Here, I'll even put your question on if it'll fit. Let me see. Can it fit? There we go.
it's a very complex situation that Black people are in America. When you talk about Black flight, because it's two parts of that. You know, some people in our neighborhoods, because of the lack of resources and because of the way the neighborhood is developed, and then you have some people that are very successful in their careers, and then you have Black flight when that happens because of their success, and now they put themselves around, you know, white people so they can feel successful and they can get massaged that way and, you know, feel good as the Black person that made it. But it's a two-part scenario to me. To Black
Greg, that last part you just said was all about ego, you know what I mean? And wanting to be in proximity of people who may not value, you know what I mean? And to Maria's question, when we talk about this
camera,
yeah, I messed that all up, didn't I?
You good?
Around profit, that's the crazy thing, because in America, if you go back and you study urban sprawling, every 20 to 30 years, either white people want to live downtown or they want to live in the country, and they constantly move back and forth. If you pay attention to it, we can get ahead of the curve by buying houses in either way, because it's going to move regardless. Because capitalism doesn't care who you are, Black or white. They just going to exploit whoever, right? And this way, we're trying to figure out how do we keep the money in our respective areas. And it's, I mean, back to understand. I mean, Dr. Claude Anderson put everything out in all his books on how we learn to leverage that game. They don't change the playbook.
Peace. What's good?
What's going on, man?
What's happening?
What's the word with you?
I'm just listening, bro.
Listen, I see the name, so I don't want to call you by the other name. You gotta school me on the new name.
Oh man, that's just honestly, man. I don't feel comfortable having my government on.
Oh, say word. I got you.
Page, you know, because I do still work for the white man, and
for now, I got you.
I can't be my total self with them. You feel me?
I got you.
You know, some jobs they'll look and be like, what do that mean? And I don't know about this guy. You know what I'm saying? So I got two different emails that I use. One for my personal life, and then one for the white world. You feel me?
I understand. But, I got you.
Yeah, man. I'm just listening to the subject matter, man. And
man.
You know, y'all brothers, my elders, man. All of y'all.
Much respect.
So I just want to throw in a little chime in here and there, but I'm
trying to be modest.
Following y'all. Yeah, I'm trying to be modest.
You got that wisdom. Don't try to do that. But yeah, man.
I got some ideas. I got some ideas.
Right, you got some ideas. I want to deal all of us to deal with Tamara's question real quick. It says in a capitalistic system, the end game is to sell and make profit. So how are we Black folks to navigate this concept by valuing ownership and keeping our own? I'll just say right off the bat, we are in a capitalistic system. That is true. And for people who are capitalists, they do want to sell and make profit. But that doesn't have to be our end game. Our end game don't have to be to sell and make profit. Again, that's why I go back to that value system. What's your value system? Right? And then I don't see other groups giving up the ownership. I don't see them doing that. We're the only ones doing that. We're the only ones who are quick to sell for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I don't like capitalism at all, but I do understand that's the environment we live in, and we have to adopt strategies and tactics in order to move about in this system effectively, and, you know, and do what we need to do. So I understand all that. I'm just simply saying our value system, though, we ain't gotta, our end game can be different. And matter of fact, in order to achieve victory, it has to be different. But what do y'all think?
Yeah, I don't think we need to approach capitalism with just about money. You know, there's like the way that our system works as Black people, we are social capitalists first. You know, using the resources and the people that are connected to us in our village to be able to bring more resources. We're more about people first, social capitalism. And then we transfer that over to capitalism. Our social capitalism is what's supposed to drive the income that comes into our community. We just have to change what capitalism is like to us as people in America. You know, we have to be able to like just redefine what that is. We got to stop having white institutions define what our values are. You know, just because they said this what capitalism is doesn't mean that's what it is. And I work with capitalism. My lady's a capitalist. Like there's a lot of work happening in that world that can benefit us also. But the way that our value system is set up, we appreciate social capitalism first. And that's where we should be at is how do we work together and get all of our resources together and create that ecosystem of capitalism with people, and then that turns into more income coming into our community. You know, in the 70s or in the early 60s, and then into the 70s, around 1975, 72, you know, the black dollar was circulating inside of the community 77 times before it left. You know, now it circulates probably like it's a percentage, it's a point something percent that it circulates within the black community, and then it leaves because we have no sense of social capitalism. We don't work with each other anymore. So that's how I look at capitalism is how do we redefine it as black people so it doesn't fit this white system that's created capitalism. We just have to redefine it and stick to it and say this is what we call it and this is what's going to work in our neighborhoods. But you know, that's just my opinion.
Got any ideas about how you would like to rebrand it?
Man, I'm big on us having a universal system where black businesses can really be in touch with their clients, with their customers, and it's not a transaction. It's not just a transaction. It's more of an investment in each other. And that system has to be created. We have some entities in Charlotte and around the country that are black business coalitions, but they model white capitalists, to be honest. You know, they model that system. So it just has to be a more Afrocentric minded way of doing capitalism. And that's by us creating a system with each other that the dollar can stay in our system for a certain, and we have to come up with our own algorithm. How many times do we want the black dollar to stay in the black community? And then we set that and make it a precedent, and then we actually perform it. I'm gonna spend my money with a black business at least 7 times before I go to Nike.
Yeah. Hey Greg.
Facts.
Hey Greg. What are your thoughts on how that system actually got broke though? Because you did mention like in like 1975. How do you feel that got broke?
As far as like
that we moved out of that system from investing in our own.
From investing in our own to then moving our money to white institutions?
Yes, sir.
That's a good question, man.
Two things.
I don't have an answer for
you talking about?
On how the system of the black dollar staying inside of the black community, how that system was broken, because it was working for a little while, and then that system broke. And how did it break?
Okay, what year was it working? What year are we talking about? Because I don't remember.
I know Greg
period.
Greg mentioned
Early
like the
70s,
early
1970s.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it might have circulated, but our neighborhoods have always been what they are, so I don't know. I never understood what people say.
In the 70s, we had a lot of black middle class neighborhoods that were thriving in the 70s.
We did? I don't like what.
As far as I know, that's the word from the elders that I ask about it. I mean, like here in Buffalo, it was like that. It was like that.
Even in the Brooklyn community in
prior to the 70s, it was like that. But the theme is of how that kind of broke is two things that happened. One thing is that after the 60s, we had this big revolution of integration.
Tulsa was
in the 70s. In the 70s is when black people really started believing this idea that, hey, white people are accepting us. And we started going to their colleges. We started being in their businesses, working at their companies and all of that type of stuff. And that leaves all the black businesses behind. And now the black businesses that are left behind, mom and pop shops struggling, the immigrants, the Mexicans, the Koreans, the Arabs come in and they offer you big bags for your failing business. And these are the Arabs, Koreans, and Mexicans and other immigrants that have been dominating our mom and pop shops for the last 50 years. All of us on this panel done been to 75,000 corner stores that was owned by some Arab, Korean, or some other immigrant. Them was our businesses back in the 70s. And this is just how they describe it to me. And you could kind of see that. I mean, I'm 29. As long as I've been alive, in the areas I grew up in, I know all the Arabs that own all the stores around. And they've been there. We grew up together. I know the kids, watch them go to the big universities out here and all of that. And they, all that money that they was able to use to uplift themselves would have been probably in my pocket. Had our community still owned them stores. So I think it's a combination of a few things. Plus we get hit with crack and heroin and all these other things too in these last 50 years. So it's been a mixture of stuff, like a cocktail.
I definitely got to research the so-called black prosperity that was happening.
I don't know if it was prosperity.
I don't remember any of this.
But at least,
I grew up in the 70s, and
I don't know what we talking about.
I don't know if it was prosperity.
I think part of it. I'm thinking in Charleston, like I'm trying to think what street was that on where that prosperity was hitting.
Really?
But, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe it was
maybe it was the 60s. No one has any details. Everyone's like, "Yo, it's prosperity," but what was the name of that street? And we really don't know.
Well, I can put it like this: in my town, maybe it wasn't because like I said, I'm 29. I wasn't there. I'm just going off of the words. And I'm giving it the 70s, just in general, but it could have been the 60s. But the point is that it's not necessarily that it was prosperity, like it was thriving. But we had the ownership, we had the control, we had the power to say,
the money was
like the reason why the Black Panther Party was created in the 60s was because we didn't have these things, like the injustices, the police brutality, the economic injustice. Like we weren't in. That's why I'm not understanding what all we're talking about. This is back in the day prosperity. I don't know what we're talking.
That has okay. Let's go back to Claude Anderson because you seem familiar with his work and his speeches and whatnot. The way he speaks with a kind of a tone as though, even though we might have been being lynched and been under Jim Crow and all of these other, disparities, we still owned. We still had the cab companies. We still had the factories and all this stuff that he will list to you. But when you go back and look at the pictures and you look at the stories about Jim Crow was looming over our heads while we were trying to survive this Jim Crow situation. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I'm trying to, just like you, trying to piece together in my mind, like, okay, well, we got Jim Crow and poverty, but at the same time, you're shouting down integration and saying it was a mistake because we owned all of these things before integration. So which was it? Was it better during them times because we had the ownership, or was it worse because we had the the segregation and the Jim Crow? So I think between the both of y'all, between Greg and between Kelly Marifa and brother Chris, is that we got to get to a point where we don't have the Jim Crow-esque racism, while at the same time we have the ability to continuously own and operate all the areas of our life in this capitalist system. You get what I'm saying?
All I'm going to say is we controlled 1% of the wealth 100 years ago, and it's never changed. Or even before that, it's always been 1, maybe 2%. That's it. We've never gone past that. So I don't want to create something that's not real, like a false narrative.
No, I feel you.
Maybe there was some pockets like Tulsa and Durham, and you had some at different points, the 20s and the 30s, a long time ago. But this the little pockets. But overall, nah, we didn't. Nah. And since the birth of America, since we came over here via Europeans, we ain't never been on point like that. It's never happened. But it did happen even before that. right? When we were free, proud, and productive people on our own lands, I teach it. I'm telling you, we had all that stuff. I mean, everything was fire. So I just would go a little farther back to use that time period as a reference.
We got to be more specific with those details.
Well, hold on. I was saying I go farther back to use that as a reference point for Black excellence. I don't use the 70s or the 60s. I definitely don't use those time periods because that wasn't where we need to be. It's always been survive mode in America. Always.
Yeah.
So how do we get a Negro League? How do we get a Negro League? How do we get a Tulsa? How do we get a Rosewood? How do we get a Durham? How do we get all of these prosperous communities if we only had? I don't know. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, this is difficult. I'm just saying it to say that maybe that 1% that we owned when we first got out of slavery, because we've been out of slavery for 160 years. We gotta be real clear and specific with these kind of details. You know what I'm saying? Like to put it all into perspective as a whole and just get a good idea of what our life and quality of life has been like as Black people here throughout these last 160 years, 50 years. So, you know, like I keep saying about Claude Anderson, in one breath he'll point out that we only own 1% of the wealth then, and we only own 1% of the wealth now. But has the reason that we've only owned 1% been the same this whole 150 years, or has it changed? Has it been a different reason each time? We haven't always been at the same level of consciousness as we are now. We haven't always been at this same level of comfort as we are now. We've gone through a lot of different phases in these last 150 years. So it's, you know, I think the main thing we got to do when it comes to this kind of question is go on these kind of fact-finding missions to get these very specific details so we can draw out the nuances that it took to develop a Rosewood and a Tulsa, a Greenwood district of Tulsa, because it wasn't even Tulsa. It was just the Greenwood district of Tulsa. Tulsa was a largely white town, and Greenwood was the section of that white town that we dominated and controlled.
Right.
So even with that, it's still like, okay, well, Tulsa was more like Harlem then. It wasn't New York City. It was Harlem. You get what I'm saying? So we got to be more, it would help and benefit us to be very much more specific with them kind of details as opposed to just saying it in a broad way. Because now, like I just said, it's these retellings of these histories is clashing with each other. Because Brother Greg can say, well, we had prosperous communities where,
well, he was saying
the come and say, well, no, we didn't, because we had poverty and Jim Crow and da-da-da. So it's like y'all both true, y'all both right.
Hold on a second. He was saying that the dollar was circulating, which I agree. Right. I'm just simply saying, to what end? Though?
How many dollars was it? Yeah, that was circulating.
How many? It wasn't. So it's twofold. So we need to get back to that, to where we have the businesses where abounds, and then we have enough resources and everything else that we need, so we're not dependent on another group. Like we have our own businesses, so we can start to work for ourselves. Because again, I'll say this again: 95% of Black people that work for white folks. So if they control our economics to that degree, we're in trouble. But I'm gonna say this: it's 10:17 on a Sunday night, so we're gonna wrap up. I'm not gonna go a whole long time.
Can I do this for everybody, since we're talking about Black economy, Black tax?
He gonna bring up the book Black tax. Say what? Do I have it over here?
All right.
Just hold on.
Just want everybody to go, learn about the 2% rule.
Right.
Learn about the Jim Crow era. Learn about purchasing. Learn about the power of Black economics. This is a good one, man. Y'all go check it out, sir.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to really deep dive into some other topics like the Jerry Jones incident with the picture from back in the day and people excusing that and whatnot. Stephen A. Smith and all of that. We didn't get into Brett Favre stealing money, the welfare money from the state of Mississippi, and all of that. And we definitely didn't get into Greg's favorite person, Mr. Kanye West. Mr. Kanye West. So we'll have to tackle that next time. But yeah, man. It's been good stuff, man. Let me remind a few people who are still watching. I didn't get into too much detail relative to announcements, but I'll have more the next time. Just we're gonna try to be consistent with this every other Sunday. She said, please come back and talk about those topics. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
And on behalf of all black men, I want to apologize to Deion Sanders because we spent a bunch of time talking about Deion and we let that white man Brett Favre off the hook. I'm sorry.
It was not about Deion specifically. It was about that template.
We let that white man Brett Favre off the hook. We let the white man that owns the Phoenix Suns off the hook.
Yeah. What's his name?
I don't even remember his name no more because he's not even in the media no more. And we spent 30 to 40 minutes talking about a black man getting elevated.
I'm not apologizing though, because I can talk about what
I'm apologizing for not addressing these white men that are taking advantage of us, and we said not one word about them.
Tell them LeBron.
I wanted to address us first.
They will be addressed.
But yeah, they will be. I don't know what's going to happen to them. Who?
The owner of the Phoenix. Yo, you remember the owner of the Phoenix Suns was just in the news like every week, and then the Ime Udoka thing came out, and then nobody was talking about him.
Yeah, boy.
He wasn't even in there every week, bro. He barely mentioned his name.
ESPN was going in on Ime, boys. Going in.
Nah, Ime messed it up for a lot of us, man.
How you cheat on Nia Long, man? We'll talk about that later, man.
How you cheat on Nia
Long? I heard you, Kelly. I heard you.
What Kelly said? What he did?
I'm about to spray my little Jerry Curl juice in there.
Hey, I need to get my.
I did that for Greg.
His name is Robert Sarver.
Oh yeah. And Tamara talking about, and no demands were made to them to redeem themselves. Because look at Amazon. All Kyrie Irving did, because we talk about Kyrie Irving too, was post a link to a particular movie, which Amazon still sells to this day, and said they ain't taking it down.
I don't subscribe to everything Dr. Umar says, but when he said that on live, and he said, why isn't nobody mad at Amazon for still selling the documentary? And I was like, that's a good point.
Dr. Umar said, he said, consciousness before coochie. What else did he say? Umar crazy. Umar be saying some wild things, boy. Where that school at? I'ma stop.
Yo, Umar's crazy, yo.
Dude, wild, man.
And that where he said building before the booty. He said
building before the booty.
He said, I said, what?
That brother said, y'all got to stay focused, man. Y'all got to stay focused out here in these streets, man. That's what y'all got to do.
We got to build it before the booty comes. I
said, he said something before Punani, too.
He did.
Pan-Africanism.
Wow.
Yeah, Pan-African before Punani. This dude right here, wow.
Yo, he had me dying. I said, this dude is getting
He said if he took that advice, he'd have a school. That's a fact, though. That's a fact. Yeah, when we come back, we're gonna tackle some more of this, but we're gonna be more community-led first. We're always gonna leave with that information first. The other kind of current event type of stuff, it's cool. We'll talk about it and get people's attention, but for the most part, we want black men specifically. We're talking to you, brothers. We want the brothers to get more involved and take more of a foothold and a frontline approach to this work, because we need you, man. We need you on the front lines. I'll be announcing different opportunities relative to Greer Heights. I will reiterate that Miss T and a couple others are going to be looking for consistency, man. So you might have the zeal, and we appreciate that. But if you don't have that determination, that loyalty, that consistency, that stick-to-itiveness, then we're not the community that's going to be right for you. We need brothers that are going to come and stick with it. And real quick, shout out to people like Reggie Singleton and the Males Place. Shout out to Boys to Men programs and stuff like that. People who've been around for 20 and 30 years, longer than that, and really putting in work, man. Being consistent, black men that are consistent. So
My man Chris at Boys the Men.
Yeah. Chris, I went blank. Yeah, Chris, man, Boys to Men, man.
He comes out and runs on Tuesdays too.
There we go. I'm gonna be out there.
Yeah, you see him. You see him when you coming.
Don't sleep. I'm gonna be out there. I don't know about this Tuesday.
No. You got.
But in January,
you got announcement. Do your thing.
Yeah, in January though, I plan on coming out, man. In the cold too. It's gonna be cold.
Yeah,
cold. I'd rather run in the cold than in the summertime for some reason. I don't know why. That's just me.
Yo, December 17th, we having our Winter Wonderland. You know what I'm saying? At the press box.
Word. What's that mean though, Greg? What do you mean?
Winter Wonderland. We bring that holiday spirit to the press box. We get a decorator, we dress it up, fake snow, all that stuff. But we give away about 300 toys to a lot of kids, man, that are in need. If you don't have anything to do December 17th, the Winter Wonderland is our 6th annual event. We will give away 300 toys. It will be free food. It is open to the public. If you know somebody that's struggling and you know somebody that have some children that might not be able to enjoy the holiday, listen, come through. Come get some toys. From 12 to 5 o'clock, December 17th, at the press box, 9609 North Tryon. Go to my page, you'll see it. Greg Jackson. Go to my page. Go to the Hill Charlotte page. See the Winter Wonderland stuff. Get involved, everybody. Word. Get involved.
If I was still in town, I would definitely be there, man. I used to live right there.
Oh, word. That's what I'm talking about. Tap in.
Hey.
Let me put this on.
I miss brother Marif. You still doing the classes, man?
The classes will be coming back in February. We'll be at the Greer Heights Community Center. He's forcing me to announce stuff that I wasn't going to announce just yet, but there it is.
My bad.
We ain't got but 5 people watching, so ain't nobody looking right now. But yeah, we're going. It's going. A lot of stuff's going to be happening. So get ready. It's going to be. Man, I'm hyped, man. But yeah, man, brothers, man, good to see y'all, man. Yeah, we missed Jamal and Malcolm, but yeah, man. I wanted Jamal to come on here and talk about what he's got going on. I'm not gonna say much about it, Greg. I'm gonna let him do it. But
shout out to Jamal Kennard doing so much work in Lakeview, man. Shout out to Jamal Kennard, man. We 100%. Lift him up even though he ain't here, man. We that's our brother, man. He's doing some great work, providing some real opportunities for a community that he lives in, and for a community that he's really dedicated to. So. Yeah, shout out to bro for doing what he's doing. And he's providing opportunities for other organizations to come in and do what they do in excellence, man. And that's he's building a real template and a real model over there that we can all follow, like for real.
Facts. And Kelly, man, we December 17th, Greg mentioned what he was talking about, but at the press box, I know we got our thing too. I ain't gonna say what it is. I don't know. I don't promote that stuff. I kind of keep that, preserve that for the brothers who know what it is when it comes to the fatherhood program. So we have something on that too, and on the 17th. So I'm not sure what time your stuff starting, Greg.
It's from 12 to 5.
12 to 5. What's our time, Kelly?
10 o'clock to like 12 something.
Okay, all right, yes. After that, I can pull up to what you got going on.
Tell all the dads that y'all working with if they need to pick up some toys.
Oh, word.
Tell them come through. Word. Toys pop up at the crib with a nice little handful of something.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, it's funny because we also bringing a bunch of toys for them fathers on that day and giving out awards for, you know what I mean? Not for being a father, but going above and beyond, doing something connected with other kids.
Turning things around. Most definitely, and incentivize that. I'm with that.
And for being a father. Like, it's okay to get rewarded for being the head of your household. That's cool. That's okay.
In this type of system. Good night, Marquita. I'll see you tomorrow. Are you coming in tomorrow? Let me not ask you those kind of work questions on the live, but you know what I'm saying? I'll be there 9 o'clock. But yeah, man, brothers, man, appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna catch y'all. Hopefully, you join again in 2 weeks, and we're gonna get on. What's that? December, whatever it is, 2 weeks from now, 18th. Not sure. And
right after Greg's event,
It's the 17th next.
Okay,
I mean 18th.
Yeah, so it don't have to be long sessions, short sessions, whatever, but we definitely want to keep the community updated on what's going on, what we got going on, catch up a little bit, do what we do. Y'all good? Anybody got final words, final thoughts?
Man, if everybody does a little bit,
come on.
Nobody would have to do a lot, baby. Come on, get involved, tap in.
I love it. I love the consistency, man. Consistency.
Yep.
And Tracy McGrady's not overrated.
Oh man, we're gonna talk about that. We gotta talk.
That's it. Hey, look, I was gonna throw a plug in there earlier when Greg was still sticking to defend Dion.
In the feed, man. He drug up Tracy McGrady. We gotta go. That's
Greg said, I can't support him no more.
I can't do this, man.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Next time.
It's about defending black men, Greg. It's about defending black men.
Tell Tracy McGrady go coach. You need to go coach at a HBCU.
Yo, while you laughing, Kenny Smith up there in Tennessee though putting in work.
New basketball coach for Jackson State, Tracy McGrady.
Hold up, Kenny Smith left TNT?
No, that's I meant Kenny Anderson.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Like, hold up.
Where
okay,
Kenny Anderson? Where Kenny Anderson coaching at?
You said Tennessee State, right?
Yeah, I think it's either Tennessee State or Fifth. I can't remember which one it is.
Okay.
Yo, that's your homeboy, G. That's your homeboy, Greg.
Who? Kenny Anderson?
Yeah.
That's my homeboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's New York, right?
That's New York. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how y'all work up there.
He's from Queens.
He's from Queens. Nah, he's from New York. Shout out to Kenny. He a legend. You know, shout out to Kenny.
I'm not gonna lie. I did YouTube Music told me how much music told me my top 5 artists. Nas was number 1. Shout out to Queens.
Yo, shout out to that new King Disease 3. Shout out to that new Nas album.
We might have to talk about that.
Oh my gosh. Man.
I got King's Disease 1 and 2.
Oh shoot.
But 3, I wasn't feeling it.
Fist.
I'm like the only I'm in the minority, man. I don't know what y'all hearing. I don't know.
Oh, that Mike, the first 6 songs are like crazy.
Like to put you to sleep. What you
mean? The hood. Yo, hood the hood is crazy.
Yo,
I must be. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm not feeling that. I don't feel none of them tracks.
Oh, crazy.
Kenny Anderson's
Green, Nas Barkley. As I pulled up to the spot, they tried to park me. Nas went crazy on that album.
Kenny Anderson's been at Fisk University for 4 years.
Yeah,
Fisk. Wow,
he's been at Fisk for 4 years.
Yeah,
don't nobody know.
Exactly.
Yeah, some jobs I ain't taking.
Turn their program around though.
Yo, wait till he gets the bag and comes to the University of South Carolina.
For real?
You got no answer. Nobody said
nothing.
I'm like, what? Like, what's this? Like, word?
Everybody was straight quiet. Like, what?
What's his track record at Fisk?
What is happening? If he left Fisk, would anybody know?
I didn't. Yo,
if you're in Tennessee, yeah.
Yeah, if you're in Tennessee, that makes sense. Hey, we need more black athletes to be coaches, man. Come on, man. Come on, Marifa. We'll be a coach.
Speaking of coaching, so y'all forced me to. I ain't making no announcements, man. Not yet. I gotta wait.
Right, cool.
But coaching, I got an announcement on coaching too, but I decided not to do it.
I mean, you got some medals under your belt.
I was just gonna ask you the last time that owner from Philly sponsored you, didn't you win something in Greg's tournament?
Hold up, say it again.
That's what I was just talking about.
That sponsor from Philly sponsored you.
I believe he won, Kelly. I believe that.
I'm just saying. I mean, if you give me an opportunity, I'm gonna show you what I can do. That's all.
Greg, he said,
if you want to sponsor me, huh?
He said, "Look at me now."
Hey, Kelly, he was coaching too for real. Like he was really coaching. Like he really was orchestrating. He was choreographing the block. He was like, "Yo, listen, you spin off the block, hit the pick. All right, we gonna win this game.
We gonna win. I knew we were gonna win it. I'm like, y'all must be don't know.
Okay,
I got ballers on the squad. They know what to do. Yo, me and Chris used to play in a couple in the I-9 league and all that.
Yes, sir.
UBE. I still remember. You don't even know what UBE is, Chris. You don't remember.
Ugly but effective.
There it is.
Ugly but effective.
There it is.
Don't try. I remember that.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Putting in work, Greg. You missed it, boy. We would lose, but boy, you gonna earn it. You're gonna earn it. It's gonna be ugly. People want to fight us or whatnot, kicking me out the games. Oh man.
Hey,
I'm gonna have to come join y'all on that court,
I've never heard somebody use the term bum so many times in a basketball game.
You gotta talk trash, man. You gotta let them know.
Clean trash.
You just heard him on the sideline, not even playing.
Bruh. I just want to know who does clean trash talk, bruh. I've never heard somebody talk.
Hey, great. That's back when I wasn't using language
and not curse.
Not one time.
Not one time.
And still had him mad.
I would keep it 1,000. My pastor does that. Yo, he be playing. I swear, he be mad. He don't care. I'll be looking at him like, I know it's about to come out. I know you about to drop. Nothing. Don't drop nothing. He'll call a timeout and walk away.
See? Yeah, man. Hey, yo, we got to get together in the hoop one time, man. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me push this button. Appreciate y'all, man. That's it.